All right, well, we've got something really exciting to talk to you guys about in conjunction with the fundraising that's going on right now for rfgeneration.com that we've been talking about. And we've kind of alluded to this a little bit in the past, but we're going to be having an auction. So the top bidder can win a spot on the show. We'll do a little interview with them in an upcoming episode. So are you guys, what do you guys, you think excited to hear some other people come in and talk to us?
Absolutely. I've loved the guests we had on, and I'm looking forward to having someone kind of that we're not as prepared for. It's going to be a blast, I think.
Bill, can you be nice, do you think, to a foreign person?
I think I am always nice.
I don't know. You should hear the off-air stuff he says to us.
Yeah, and especially if you listen to this episode, you'll get to hear Bill and I kind of tear Krabby apart and psychoanalyze him a little bit.
Yeah, so you can,
I had his back.
Way back.
Yeah, I was way back here while you were yelling at him.
But you guys go to the front page of RF Generation. There'll be a little post about that. The auction is going to be going on over at gamegavel.com, so you can check it out over there. We encourage you guys to bid often and bid heavy. We'll be glad to have the winner on, and it'd be good also to help pitch that money in to help rfgeneration.com.
So how long is that auction going for?
The auction will be ending on February 1st and the end of the normal RFGen fundraising drive. So by the time the show comes out, make sure you check it pretty quick. You don't want to miss the end of the auction. Well, welcome everybody to another action-packed episode of the RF Generation Collectorcast. I am always your host, Mr. Duke Togo, and joining me, the place where I guess people ride snow machines just blithely in the streets, disregarding the law. We've got Mr. Crabmaster. How you doing, Krabby?
I'm doing awesome, and that was actually quite accurate.
Yeah, just you guys are scofflaws up there in Canada.
We don't care about nothing up here.
I'm going to guess probably because those machines probably go a lot faster than the Mounties on their horses, right?
Exactly. Especially
they can't catch you.
Especially in the winter season. The horses on snowshoes just don't move very fast.
Do they wear like those big look like tennis racket snowshoes?
Oh yeah.
On the horses?
Is there any other kind?
And then joining me from the ever exciting smallest state in the union, Mr. Wild Bill. How you doing, Bill?
Hey, our people like snow machines as well, but it's just sad because we don't get as much snow. So everyone's got their snowmobiles out in their front yard, kind of come on, can we get some more snow, please? And it's, nope, we got nothing.
No, can't happen. So I'm curious, snow machines, snowmobiles, which one is it?
Snowmobiles.
Snowmobile. Krabby, you said snowmobiles, right?
Yeah, that's what they're called, but most people up here just call them sleds. You want to go sledding?
Okay. Now, I always thought those things were called snow machines.
Yeah, I didn't realize that.
Yeah. So I wonder if that's like a local thing or something.
I think... Well, no, because remember that PlayStation game, Sled Storm?
That was a snow, though.
I thought it was snowmobiles.
Was it? I'm thinking of a different game then, maybe.
I don't know if it's just a local thing. When I grew up in southern Manitoba and I didn't hear it, sledding meant going tobogganing. And then when I moved up to northern BC, sledding meant going snowmobiling.
Okay, well.
Hey, Krabby, have you heard of mudding?
Isn't that just like driving your truck around in the mud?
Yeah, I just didn't know if you guys had that too.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So that was your official off-roading podcast for this month. Join us next month when we'll talk about some other crap you don't care about.
Water skiing.
Yeah. By the way, I did just look up Sled Storm, and it's totally snowmobiles.
Okay, then what am I thinking of?
So I guess it's regularly called sledding.
What was the one, the game that, an early, PlayStation game that looked like the Tron tanks? What was that one?
Battle Zone? What
no.
Was that?
Do you know what I'm talking about?
Rarely.
They look like the Tron tanks, really early.
Well, that'll be the challenge. It'll be the RF Gen Collector Cast challenge. So the first person to answer what game that was in the episode thread will get something.
You'll get my heartfelt thanks for putting that into my brain again.
What you will not get is all your small scores written next time.
Are you trying to say that's like a lot, Krabby?
Yeah, it was a bit more of a pain than I think we anticipated.
Yeah, we've got to maybe come up with some different prizes next year for the fundraiser, but that's okay. We appreciate you guys kicking in. So a couple things while we get started. You can find us a couple different places. So, Bill, where can they find us?
You can find us on Twitter at Collectorcast.
We're on Twitter?
Yep. We try to be.
Two of the three of us tweet, right?
Yeah, regularly. Yeah,
do we do a lot of twittering?
I do some twittering. I usually tweet though while I'm twittering.
Oh, okay.
I'm lucky enough where I get to be sitting at a computer for most of my workday. So if something hasn't blown up that I have to go fix at work, I'm usually sitting on the Twitter feed. I'm going to try to get better at posting pictures of things that I score on the Collectorcast Twitter feed. We'd love some pictures to come in that way as well. Mm-hmm. Right now we get most of the small scores through the small scores thread on RF Generation, but we're also on Facebook, Collectorcast. Collectorcast.com is where you can find all of the episodes, as well as on iTunes, Stitcher, Smart Radio. RF Generation promo code helps us get some more traffic, and on their, what do they call it, a leaderboard?
Yeah, just helps us. I don't know exactly the details. I know they tell us to do it, and we've got a partner page where it ranks us. So nice. They tell us it's supposed to help our ranking.
Yep, so if you want to be if you want to be awesome, you can do that.
Like the other cool kids. Sure. Yeah. They're all doing it.
And we're on, I think, 100% more YouTube channels than we were on a month ago.
Oh, yeah.
I think that's statistically correct.
Yeah. So normally, Duke's got his own YouTube page that he posts the show on. But Krabby, the completionist of NES games up there, has shared our show on his feed as well. So you can find us any number of places on YouTube.
Yeah, I thought I'd bring the show to my legions and legions of subscribers.
And all I can say is apologies, Krabby, because I'm sure the amount of subscribers you have has dropped off a cliff since I started loading the shows on there.
Got half as many for some reason. I can't figure out what. Is there a connection there?
Yeah, I'm sure it's not your completion video of Othello.
Hey, that was a lot of work.
and I like the comment you made in there that you hate that game. Tell me why you hate it.
Because it's the only NES game that my wife can consistently beat me at.
That was a surprise to me because and you said 100% of the time she beats you.
I've never beat her at a game of Othello. Ever.
I would encourage you to challenge her for 2600 Othello. Maybe you could beat her then.
I don't know. If it's like a stationary game like that, she's really good at them. If it has like moving things, like she gets sick and then just can't play.
Oh,
all right, so I want you to put the TV.
And she's good.
I need like
put the TV on a cart and then roll it around while you're playing Othello.
Is there like a CDI version of Othello where they have like horribly moving like waterfall backgrounds and stuff? I could totally cream
There's backgammon. You can play backgammon with her on that.
Yeah, maybe.
Now, the RF Generation the fund drive's been going on, right, guys? So we had a few donors that kicked in some money.
Yeah, I was surprised. Pretty decent turnout so
generous,
far,
yeah.
So at the $5 level, what did we promise everybody at the $5 level?
We promised them that we would try to say their name on the show.
We would try.
Incorrectly, if possible.
So, Krabby, can you tell me who our $5 donors were this month?
I actually can't. Do you have a list?
Yes, it's right up under intro.
Yeah, where it says donations and then $5
I'm still looking at
level.
Small scores. Here we go. Thanks.
Professional help, folks. You can't find it.
All right, so we've got 3 people that post pretty regularly on the forums. You'll probably recognize Fleech, PWP Cody, and Monkeys19 if you hang around the forums. But also got a $5 donation from Fat Ken 53, who I can honestly say I've never heard before.
All I can think of is like Ken from Street Fighter, like he's been eating way too much ice cream.
Yep.
He just
the tournament's over. He's just let himself go.
I think Seth probably made like a Ken/Honda hybrid fighter.
He's trying to tie the gi, won't fit. Cool. And then the $20 level, right? That was our next bump. And what did we say if people hit the $20 level?
Just a name shout out, right? That was it.
Oh, yeah,
No
the
more?
$20 level? Yeah,
Yeah.
that was it.
Yeah.
Sure. Yep. And the show's over, folks.
And that's all.
No, seriously, we promised them some hard work. And what was that?
They will get every one of their scores discussed in detail, which I'm happy to do. But with the number of donors we have, I sure hope that we can speak quickly this episode.
And we'll probably have to apologize to everybody else that we don't spend much time talking about your stuff. But you should have gave money. What can I do? I mean, I'm not in control of your wallet. So who did we get at the $20 level?
I'll let you pronounce that first one, Bill.
I'm going for it. You ready? Eraiski Kapadze.
Really?
Eric Escapade?
That's what I thought. Eric Escapade.
Eric Escapade. Or it could be Eraiscapade.
Or it could be Eric Escapada. Like
Ooh,
maybe he's
Eric
like
Escapada. I like that.
Spanish. Mexican, whatever.
Yeah.
Right?
So yeah,
Spain,
I can't
Mexico,
say I'm
something.
too familiar with that member on the forums, but thank you very much, and we'll see you in the small scores.
And who's up next?
Mr. Ryan Flukas.
Are you sure? Are you sure
I'm quite sure
Ryan
that's how you
Flukas?
say it, yes.
Maybe it's Ryan F. Lucas, maybe?
Probably not. Unless it's
Maybe
like
it's-
Ryan F. Lucas.
Maybe it's Ryan Flew, Cass.
Yeah, sure. And then we have our favorite person from last episode, which we've had a correction on how to pronounce that. So it's Souza 12, right?
No, he loves that tequila. Souza.
Yeah,
No, I think you
Bill nailed that
specifically
last
said-
time.
Souza December.
Or like Sauza.
No, Souza Commemorativo Tequila.
Yeah, you know it. I'll let you have it.
Yeah,
And
those Presidente margaritas at Chili's.
Mm-hmm.
Got that Souza in them.
You know from experience, right?
Absolutely. I love. I'm not like a huge drinker, but I love the Presidente margarita at Chili's, and they didn't pay me to say that or anything. I just think it's great.
And at least you're not drinking now, right, Bill?
No,
Okay.
not anymore. I had some beers earlier for watching some football, but that's it.
You should probably start.
Yeah. Well, it's close to midnight here, so it's the right time.
It's time to start because the very last $20 level yeah, that too. I've not been drinking. Maybe I should start. The last $20 level donor was Mr. Zagnorch. So
Zignatch.
you could use a few drinks to talk about all of his stuff that's in here.
Yeah, it's going to take a bit to get through that. I might start.
I can't wait to get to Krabby's special score from Zag.
And then we had the creme de la creme level, right? The $30 level.
The elite, yeah.
Now, if you managed to somehow make it into the top tier, the $30 level, what do they get as their prize?
A super secret, only heard by one other member before, recording of our trial run for the podcast, episode 0.
And it's live, folks. It's out there. I've sent the link out, so you guys should have that. Feel free to go waste an hour of your life and check it out. So there was 3 guys that ponied up that much money, right?
3 very cool guys, very like regulars on the forum. So real cool to see them interested enough in the 2 of you to hear that episode 0. I don't
That's
know
all
if
right.
I don't know if they thought that I was on it and now they're upset that I'm not, but
That's
probably
right.
not.
Next
You're going to have to
next
offer up
year
some
for the-
refunds, you're saying?
Yeah, I doubt
Next
it.
year's fund drive, you're going to have the secret episode of Just Bill.
Yep, just me on Skype when no one else is on the call. Just hello, you guys said you'd be here at this time. I'm just gonna be here for a little bit. So yeah, so Razor Knuckles is first alphabetically on this list, and so obviously big Sonic dude, but also in my corner, the correct corner as far as hockey goes. Happy for it to be
yeah.
back, and we'll talk more about that later, I'm sure. We got Slacker, who in this case was not a slacker, but
And former head of the previous RF Generation podcast, right? RF Generation Nation.
Yeah.
So if you guys listen to that show, you might know Slacker. And then lastly, we had Techie, right? Techie 413.
Yep. Real good guy, good dude. We're actually working on another exchange right now. So yeah, and he has a lot of scores. So he always has a lot of scores. So
And
thank you
he's
very much,
the reason
everybody.
for the little snowmobile rant at the start there too.
Well, yeah, it's his avatar, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought you were going to say he was the reason for the season, but that's somebody else, right?
That's Striper.
So I think what we decided was to go through the regular small scores first, and we'll try to be not super brief, but we'll try to get through those so we can get to the plethora of members that we have to detail their scores, and so yeah.
And we should apologize because there's a lot of scores we would have mentioned on a typical show, but because of how much we have to run through with the donors, we probably breezed over some pretty cool things.
Now, wait, Krabby. Why are we apologizing? They had the ability. They could have donated. They could donate.
Could have done it.
You could have been here just like all the rest of the cool kids.
You have no one to blame but yourself.
$20. Like, come on, it's like a pizza, right?
Yeah.
So you do have...
You'll skip a meal and then you can get on the show.
Yeah, I would say, you got a slight chance left because the fundraising drive, I think, runs until the beginning of February, right? So you got a little bit more time.
Show.
You might be able to squeeze in for the next one if you're lucky. And let's go ahead and get started. So, Mr. Bomba Tomba, right?
Or is it Boomba Toomba?
I would go with Bomba Tomba.
Well, tomato.
I like Bomba too.
He picked something free out of the garbage, right?
Again, isn't he the one who picked out the garbage last time, or was that Sir Psycho?
Sir Psycho had because Sir Psycho just had that top 5 video he posted with his dumpster dive was number 1.
Thank you.
Yeah,
number 1.
We have no shortage of dumpster diving members.
Apparently not.
That's why I was disappointed. Krabby, you did your video, like your top 5 pickups, and there was no like number 5. 5. I was waiting
keep
for
that
it.
in mind.
You let it go.
I need an audio expert like yourself to point these kind of things out to me.
Expert. So Boomba Tomba?
something like that. So what did he get out of the trash?
iMac.
Yeah.
Yeah, like a whole iMac.
Yeah, a 2008 model, so a little bit older, but I guess it wasn't supposed to be working, and he did some magic on it, reseated the board, power supply, put some memory in it. He's got to replace the glass panel for less than $100, but it's 100% working now. So that's a tough thing to beat for like a pretty much free iMac.
And congratulations on coming over to the correct side of computing and leaving those other people behind. So
I straddle the Mac PC. I don't know what the word is.
That sounds painful.
No, it's quite comfortable.
You mean the VIC 20 I'm recording on doesn't it's not cool anymore?
Did you press play and record on the cassette tape before you started?
Yeah, but I've only got like 20 minutes before I got to flip the tape.
You make sure you scotch tape the top of the cassette so that it will record.
I'm recording over Michael Jackson's Thriller right now.
Oh no!
Classic.
Oh, next up we've got Bum Man, right?
Bum Man.
Yeah, he doesn't post too often, but he finally found something cool to talk about, and he's got that big Atari lot that he scored for $20.
Yeah, that's the reason I don't have a 2600 yet, is because this is the kind of lot I'm waiting for.
Yeah,
like between $20 and $40, system, bunch of controllers. He's even got one of the wireless controllers, which is really cool. And then just a whole bunch of carts, some paper to go with it. Like that's the reason I don't have one yet.
It's like the perfect starter lot for any type of system.
It really is.
So am I the only one that just wants to sing like the Batman theme, but with Bum Man in there?
Yes.
Yes,
you are.
Sounds like more fun. All right, Bill, who we got next?
We got the Grrr.
The Grrr. I think somebody actually tried to imitate that in a post.
Really?
Yeah.
I might have missed that.
I think you might have missed that one.
Yeah, they spelled it like GREW. whole bunch of exclamation marks. Yeah.
Oh, nice. It's now we just need a cartoon character to go along with it. Actually, his avatar is I'm not sure if he drew that or not, but it's very nice.
Yeah.
Is it Kirby, you think?
I thought it was like a Pac-Man kind of thing.
Yeah, it's kind of puffy. We're gonna have to ask the Grrr. So he picked up a Monaco Grand Prix, and that was to complete the N64 collection. That was right before Christmas, and I can't remember if he was the first or the second one to post, but we had 2 complete N64 sets,
it
very
was
close to each other.
2 days after PWP Cody did his set.
Right.
And that's a weird game to finish the set off with. It's a really easy game to track down, really cheap.
Yeah,
so
when I saw that was it, like, because I'm not an N64 guy, I was kind of like, oh, I didn't realize that was rare, but then I guess it's not.
No, he must have taken care of the really tough stuff a little earlier. Smart guy.
So now they can move on to the real sets and start collecting for the NES completely, right?
I don't know. He might join the dark side that many of our other members have lately and start going Odyssey 2.
Yeah. So real quick before we get off the Grrr, he didn't post this as a score this month, but he did post a picture of some 32X games that I feel need commenting on.
No, yeah.
He pointed out.
I'm sorry, everyone. I tried to leave it off the list.
Nope. Here it comes. So with his, with the Doom, printing sideways. But the interesting thing is his picture kind of inconspicuously showed his complete Spider-Man Web of Fire.
Yeah, I saw
and
that.
I just wanted to put it out there. If you ever want hundreds of my dollars,
as
or
in like
hundreds
two
of dollars
hundreds
worth of my stuff, that's always not. I'm only a PM away, so we can keep going.
Up next, I don't know if we heard from him the last episode. We got Mr. Burning Toys.
Yeah,
I think it's pretty cool.
I was contemplating picking one up myself.
I know, Krabby, you were like really excited about this one. What did he get?
He got a Neo Geo X Gold system.
Ooh,
very cool. But he does have a YouTube channel also under the same name, Burning Toys, where he's showing some videos on his Neo Geo X Gold. So if you're kind of curious about it, you can check out his videos, or Slacker's even got a nice little blog post on the site about it.
Definitely not every day that we get new hardware, right?
No, especially something so uniquely bizarre that like really fits into the like kind of collector retro world that we live in.
Yeah, totally.
How can we get a new Neo Geo and I still can't get like a new NES? What kind of world do I live in?
Yeah, but there is a. Oh, you're talking officially done by a company and not done by a guy on Nintendo Age.
Yeah.
No, I hear you. I mean, it's. I know you didn't want the conversation going this way, but with At Games making those classic Sega Genesis models,
those aren't real.
I'm wondering why they don't just like do the same deal with Sega and get that Neptune working.
Always a dreamer.
Yeah,
Bill.
But you're right. I mean, it's I don't know if it's been brought up in Nintendo board meetings or not. Like, I kind of feel like they
board meetings.
Yeah, I don't know if it has or not. I can imagine someone saying, "Well, what if we do this?
What if we go back to carts?"
Yeah, can we just go back to carts? But
$100 games, man. You heard it right here.
I don't think it's gonna happen.
All right, and now up next, Invader G2. He didn't even know how to pronounce his own username.
I love
that makes me
the
feel
story
better.
For the second. I love the story for the second part of his username. Did you read how he said where that came from?
No.
He said that's how he was typing his name. He was trying to type his name like in like a high score thing or something with a power glove, and that's what he typed. So he just kept it. So I thought that was awesome. Like, he tries to write something and it's like E-R capital G-I-I. He's like, okay, you know what? Screw this power glove thing. I love that. That's great.
Well, he picked up a hard to find NES card, right?
Yeah, one of those obscure sports ones.
You don't have this one, do you, Krabby?
I don't. I really want it. I played through all of the bases loaded games last year, so I was really hoping to grab this one by the end of last year, but didn't quite make it.
Yeah, bases loaded 4, right?
Yeah, never seen that card.
Yeah, I've got that one, but I'm just shocked that you've played through all the other ones.
You don't like nutty. Spending 50 hours running through baseball seasons?
I know those are the hardest YouTube videos of yours to watch.
Did you watch all 50 hours?
I didn't. To be honest, I didn't. But I played all 50 hours. but I just kind of had it like in a separate window, like next to what I was doing. So it was just going on like while I was doing other stuff. So I wasn't really focused on what was happening.
I like that. Like Bill feels kind of bad that he didn't watch the whole 50 hours.
What a jerk.
Like, no, I tried. I tried.
What a jerk. Can I unsubscribe people from my channel? Does that work?
Kick him off. You gotta block him.
Yeah.
And then we've got Mr. Nine-Tailed Demon Fox. Did Mr. Nine-Tailed Demon Fox come up with any of his usual fare?
Yeah,
games
he
this time?
stuck to his 9-year-old girl kind of genre he likes.
Yeah. So
Well, no, at the same time, he strayed into 9-year-old boy territory with that baseball handheld game. And
now let's be honest. Maybe he is a 9-year-old boy. How would we know, right?
I guess there's
he
that.
did say he's got some kids of his own, though.
Oh, I did not read that part.
But
Maybe he has a 9-year-old kid.
Yeah, he probably means his Sonic like stuffed animals. Like those are his kids.
But the cool things I thought he got this month were actually gifts, not things he bought for himself.
Those are great.
Yeah. I forget who sent him that lunchbox, but someone sent him like
Zagnorch, wasn't it?
It might have been
Zag,
or it might have been Razor Knuckles too, or Retro Rage. They've all been sending each other stuff. But he got a hot pink Princess Peach lunchbox with his Naruto avatar's face like posted over her. It looks awesome. And then Retro Rage sent him a copy of Barbie Detective for the PlayStation.
Oh yeah,
nice.
That crime will never get solved.
Gotta solve that mystery.
She can't even bend her knees, folks. And then another.
We'll just leave it at that.
You got something else to add in about Barbie there?
No,
I don't, but I feel like a certain member might. But we'll leave that to the thread.
So Fleech, another exciting Canadian. He picked up something cool, right?
Yeah,
they're all exciting.
He's been asking me about old Wii games, so I sent him a bunch of role-playing games to watch out for, and he grabbed Arc Rise Fantasia for the Wii, which is a pretty cool little hidden gem, kind of.
Mm-hmm.
And then he picked up possibly one of my favorite PS3 games, which was 3D Game Heroes. Have you guys played that one?
You have suggested it to me, and it's on that list that I started making.
You're definitely getting unsubscribed now.
Yeah, I think I couldn't make it past the fire dungeon or whatever.
Oh man, I played through that thing like 10 times. I got all the trophies. It was the first game I ever got a platinum trophy on it. I love it.
It is a really good game. I just I don't know. I think something else caught my attention, and I never went back.
Yeah, that happens to me a lot. So I don't buy any games when I'm working on a game anymore, even if I really want it, unless it's like a collector edition or something that I think I'll miss out on, just because I've started and stopped too many games. So I'm trying to get through stuff before I pick up new stuff now.
Now, my favorite thing from Fleech from this month was he somehow found a picture of Krabby. How did that happen?
I don't know. I thought I burned all those. Along with my silk kimono.
I wish there was some way to put the picture in the podcast.
There were 3 heads. Maybe that can be the art for the next one.
Oh, you've done given me bad ideas. But it was this picture of the band Rush,
early picture,
from the 70s, and yeah, they're in these white silk kimonos,
wicked,
super long hair,
wicked mustache on him. Love it.
Yeah, that was pretty funny to find that one. And then
love Rush.
Bernard's, right?
Yeah, it doesn't post too often.
Yeah, but he needed to defend Skies of Arcadia
and tell Krabby what he's really missing out on.
Yep, defend it. And actually,
I'm not missing out on. I played through it.
And the pictures, a lot of times, CD cases, they can get scuffed or anything like that. The way he took these pictures, it makes it look like these cases are pristine.
Mm-hmm. And he grabbed another Dreamcast game that I've been looking for forever is Record of Lodoss War.
And what's that one about? Is it RPG, I take it?
I have no idea, but I used to watch the anime all the time when I was a kid, and I just want to check out the game because I loved this anime.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I didn't realize it wasn't based on
anime. And I think it's kind of an uncommon game, but I really don't know much about it other than that.
I got you. Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen it. And then Mr. Isrit, right?
Yeah, his posts are usually, I bought 10 iPhone games instead of so it's nice to see him joining the physical world again and picking up something he's quite passionate about.
No, wait, I think they're usually Windows Phone games, aren't they?
Yeah, I meant to say that.
Okay. He's got to get the achievements.
You got to get the
man.
achievements. Yeah, you're right.
But he's for people that are not on the boards, right? He's a huge Mortal Kombat guy.
Oh yeah, he's had me pick up like Canadian variants for games, like and like exclusive steel box cases for Mortal Kombat games up here. Like just loves Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, so he picked up a couple Mortal Kombat items this month, right?
2 of them, yeah. He picked up those. They came out a little while ago, just when they rebooted that new game, right?
I remember seeing those in the stores.
They're like classic style. They look like the old arcade top control sticks. And
yeah, what they did was the one you're talking about, when Mortal Kombat 9 came out, they had one that kind of had the artwork from Mortal Kombat 9, but the classic one, that was when the Mortal Kombat arcade collection came out, and it has like an XBLA or a PSN code for the game in it as well.
Oh, okay, so I'm getting my sticks confused.
You said it's the classic ones, right?
Yeah,
it's
he
got
got
like
the
the
2
original
classic
artwork.
Ones, yeah.
Yep, yeah. Each one of those comes with they're USB for your 360 or PS3, and they come with a code for the arcade collection.
Interesting.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, they're really cool. My buddy's got one, and just like the redos for the Mortal Kombat 9, they've got like a memory foam bottom to them, so you can play with it on your lap, and it's not going to be like a big heavy piece of wood on there. It's actually got like some foam to it, so they put some thought into it.
Nice, very nice.
Have you guys used those sticks?
No, I've got an X Arcade. I've not used those.
No,
they're cool.
I've used a few different Street Fighter sticks, but never the Mortal Kombat one.
Yeah, they're actually pretty nice. I wish that I could find one like on clearance someplace, because I love that classic artwork, but nothing yet.
You better talk to Israel. He's got 2.
There you go.
Yeah, like he's gonna.
He'll send them over, no problem.
Yeah, no, I'm sure. Mortal Kombat stuff. I got so much of that here. Just take this.
And up next is a person I don't recognize this name. Is this a newer user to the site?
He said he heard the podcast and joined, and this is one of his first posts here.
Oh, well, my apologies to you for hearing the show, but obviously you didn't hate it enough and you came over anyway. Mm-hmm. Okay, I'm not even...
He was quite eager for someone to give a go at his name, too.
Fergoji-san.
Nice. You nailed it.
That's pretty good.
You got it. Yeah.
That's got to be it. Or I didn't want to stereotype and think it was Asian off the bat, but it could be Fergoji-san.
I was thinking maybe like Norwegian or something, like Fergoji-san.
I'm pretty sure the name ends at the I, and then the SAN is just like Daniel-san.
Oh, I see.
So Fergoji-san.
I see. Well, maybe we'll get to find out.
I got that.
Yeah, I don't know if he's gonna make a lot of friends though. He's kind of doing something I don't think a lot of collectors would do.
What is that?
He's opening ancient sealed games.
No. Oh, I'm sorry.
Ancient, like for the original Wii, like not the Wii U.
No, like early '80s, late '70s games.
Well, maybe he doesn't like money.
It's painful. I don't think they're particularly rare or valuable. They're just kind of cool.
Now wait a minute, Bill. Didn't you just open a sealed game last month?
Which one?
Didn't you just open a sealed game that I sent you last month?
And a pretty
but it
cool,
wasn't
obscure one too.
Yeah, but it wasn't sealed on the outside. It was just the jewel case on the inside was sealed.
On the outside. You cheat.
No. I opened it up, and I need someone to translate the all French manual for me.
Well, ask Fergoji-san.
French. Okay, so it's French, Swedish, Norwegian, or Japanese.
Yeah, those people in Europe, they speak all the languages. They just know. So what did he get? I mean, he got more than he's gonna violate a couple games. But what else did he get?
Space Jockey.
Space Jockey?
Space Jockey.
How do you ride a horse in space?
Super Challenge Baseball, Air Sea Battle, Carnival Combat. I haven't seen this tax scan game where the name with Sega is the biggest word on the front of that box.
I've got tax scan.
And that kind of looks good. And that looks like I mean, there's a lot of Star Wars ripoffs, but that's a Star Destroyer.
TaxCan is like this game where you have like this little like fleet of ships and you fly and shoot, and like as you get the different fleets of ships like hit, you lose them, but then you can like earn them back.
Okay.
So, and it's hard to explain, but if you go watch it, it's actually pretty good. You should check it out.
As soon as I have a 2600, I'll put it on the 2600 list.
All right, Bill. You know, I might have a 2600 in some games around here. If you really want one, just talk to me. I've got a bunch of them.
All right, I will take a 2600, like 10 controllers and like 40 games for $20.
I don't know if I can go quite like that. I can probably take care of the quantity you just asked for. All right, well, welcome, Fergo Eason.
Eason.
That's what I'm going with. And you can correct me later. And then the ever-lovable Sir Psycho is up next.
The original dumpster diver.
That's right. So he got some things that were not from trash.
The ODD.
The next step up, though, like the flea market, right?
I also like that he routinely picks up books. He doesn't neglect that whole area.
Buh.
Gets those books.
What? Reading?
Gersperms. I love.
That's horrible. That just makes me. A million years ago, I actually used to work. I was like an assistant manager at a bookstore. Mm-hmm. That's when Goosebumps were so popular.
That's when I was in like grade
back.
5 through 7.
I never read them. I was aware of them, but my wife read them when she was younger. So I don't make fun of her for it, but we do have the occasional Gersperms conversation.
We literally had a ban against Goosebumps being turned in as book reports for a while in my classes.
R.L. Stein. Dude made a fortune doing that.
Oh, yeah. He just doesn't have to work anymore. So he picked up, besides a couple of R.A. Salvatore books, I love the box design of the original Game Boy.
Yeah, it's pretty
cool.
awesome.
Like the cyber hands.
Yeah, it's just a cool, it's just a cool box. Like, whether you like the system or not. And the price tag says $15. Not sure if that's what he got it for or not. That's probably what he paid for it. Maybe he got it, like a lot of those places do like, buy two, get one free or, like something like that. But got the original Game Boy in the box, got a bunch of GameCube games. What do we got there? Reign of Fire with Christian Bale and Matthew McConaughey.
I saw that in the theater.
Yeah, I watched it the other night at AMC.
Nice.
You know what I like about that Game Boy? That box always takes me back. I remember I got that for Christmas, like when it came out. That was my big Christmas present that year with like the power charger thingy and all whatever it was. And just seeing that box again just takes me back to like whatever that was, like 89, 90.
Yeah.
That's really cool. So I like seeing those things. That's kind of fun.
I really do like that box. And real quick, we got I don't think he actually picked these up, but he did post that there's a whole bunch of cool boxed Super Nintendo games if anybody was interested, but it looks like most of them are crossed off the list.
He said he picked up Lufia.
Right?
Yeah, he picked up Lufia, and then he saw all the rest of those. Yeah.
Smart man. Lufia's good. Play it. And then a couple things that I like that he got snuck in there a little bit later. Okay. So he got Phantasy Star 2 in the box and everything. Missing the hint book, though, that's the thing that dogged me for eternity. So good luck on finding that hint book.
Yeah, I think he said he doesn't look forward to that search.
No. What a nightmare. You know, I actually, like, a few years back, there was a guy on Craigslist, and he's selling it. And I'm like, okay, hey, do you have the hint book? And he literally sends the message back, goes, yeah, I'm selling the game. I'm not selling the hint book. I'm like, you jerk. No, thanks.
That's when you ask him to meet you in that dark alley to go pick it up.
That's right. And then he also picked up Time Soldiers, and Time Soldiers was the cover art for one of our episodes a couple back. So that's a fun little one. Check that out. I think that's an awesome cover, though. Like dudes with bazookas fighting like a tank and a dinosaur coming out of a time tunnel.
Yep. So they really just used the cover of a Rush album.
I don't know about you. If a time tunnel opens up and a tank and a Tyrannosaurus Rex come out at the same time, I'm running.
Towards the tunnel or away?
Towards that time portal?
That's right. So up next we had Buildstar. And Buildstar is Germany? Or where is Buildstar from?
The Netherlands. There's a Netherlands flag on his...
Netherlands.
Netherlands. I'm ignorant as far as
I'm probably just making that up.
Yeah, no, is it Netherlands?
I think Netherlands.
And what do they speak in the Netherlands?
Do they
Netherish?
speak Dutch? I think.
That's right.
Dutch.
There you go. So in the Deutsch, so he's from Deutschland.
No, that's German.
But you just said he speaks Dutch.
Dutch is different than Deutsch.
Ah.
I don't live there. Don't ask me.
Yeah. But very cool. I don't know if was this exclusive to Europe, this Resident Evil 4 GameCube bundle?
I don't think it came out in the US.
Yeah,
I'm not 100% sure, but I don't think it did.
And it's because it's got that Resident Evil 4 kind of etched onto the top of the GameCube jewel. That's really cool.
And
we
it's
got
my
these...
least favorite Resident Evil, but that's still a cool bundle. I think the packaging looks awesome on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got the chainsaw controller over here, right?
Correct.
Oh,
yeah. So we're cooler. We got a chainsaw.
Well, I don't know. I kind of feel like we think that's cool, and the rest of the world is like, oh, America with their chainsaws.
They're such savages. Guns and chainsaws.
Remember that comment that, what's-his-face, Kojima made? That he couldn't have an American company make the next Gears of War because he would give them, like, a samurai sword, and he'd come back, and, like, the Americans would turn it into a chainsaw by the time the game was over.
Yeah, what's wrong with that?
Yeah, he was probably thinking specifically like Gears of War, but, we did that, so...
Hey, it's cooler with chainsaws. So, congrats, Buildstar.
Yeah.
And then up next, we have Addicted, right?
Yeah, he picked up probably the coolest thing this month, I think.
Yeah, something I've never seen before, that's for sure. He got that test PS2, right? Like the debug unit?
Yeah, that's really odd, and I love it.
Yeah, it was like even cool how like they spell out test on the front
in that PlayStation text. That's really neat. Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't realize that these things were out and about for people to pick up, but I would be curious to hear the story.
I don't think they regularly are. I think this is just one of those that crazy thing that you just happen to come across.
Yeah. He didn't really mention like a story about how he got it. He said he found like some last piece for it. Wasn't that what he put in actually? Like he said it had some final something to go with it.
Yeah, he said he had the test PS2, but now it's complete, and he said Isret helped him complete it.
Yeah, so I mean there was some part that but I don't think he really said what it was or where this whole thing came from, but now he's got this full complete test PS2.
Cool.
So if you guys haven't seen it, go check out the thread. It looks kind of neat. I mean, it looks like a stock fat PS2, but I mean with the font on there is pretty cool. And then oh boy, yeah, he got Walking Dead Collector's Edition, right?
Yeah, that's a really cool box.
Oh man, that's I just finished that game a little bit ago. It's really fantastic. You guys need to get it and play it.
Working on it.
So good.
I'm gonna sound like Bill here. It's on my list.
Oh, now.
Yeah, well, it's on my list, but I do own it and have started it. So.
I'm really being the Bill here then.
Take down your list, Krabby. So that's pretty cool because I think that came with not only just like the game disc, but also came with like some of the graphic novels, like compendiums or whatever they call those things.
Yeah, it came with like a trade paperback, didn't it? Hardcover.
Pretty nice. And then I helped him out. He kind of wanted a couple Famicom games that I had when I got my big lot a couple months back. But he kind of, I guess he was tied or whatnot. He just like asked me if I could put them away for him and hold them, and I said, yeah, sure, no problem. So he finally got those from me. Nothing too exciting. I mean, like Duraga, Challenger, and I think it was a Ninja Judgemaru-kun was the other one. But they're fun games. They're pretty cool. So enjoy. All right, fine. Next. Who's next?
Wait. Are you sure it was Judgemaru and not Jamananu?
I'm probably sure it's Ninja Judgemaru-kun.
No, Judgemanunu was actually Judgemaru 2 in Japan, but then when they brought it over here, it was 6.
You see the kind of things I got to put up with people.
I can never remember all the Jujumarus.
See, I mean, I'm trying to be informative here, and then I got to deal with people like this. I'm trying to run a class act over here.
Block.
Fine, you take the next one. I'm
off the podcast. I'm off the Jujumaru.
I bet the next one did not get Ninja Jujumaru.
So Retro Rage on picked up a very nice. Toys R Us has had a whole bunch of limited edition colors with Nintendo throughout the years on their systems. He picked up a box N64 with an awesome, ugly, like clear kind of Gatorade type color controller.
Is Gatorade? Is that a
yeah? Gatorade.
It's a technical term for it.
Gatorade. And I actually, it's weird. I haven't really noticed this before. Do you guys remember the tagline for the Nintendo 64 being the fun machine?
Yeah.
No, I think it was later in life, right?
I've never. Yeah, I don't know if they added that later, if I just never noticed it. But looking at the box now, it says the fun machine, and I've literally never seen that before. So, but yeah, the system inside, it looks pretty good. It's actually got like all the baggies for the individual system pieces and the controller. Yeah, and for $20 at a local thrift shop.
I have to say, out of all the different colored N64 controllers, that one has to be like just the worst looking. It's just horrible.
I thought you were gonna say my favorite.
It is.
Yeah, I've always really liked the Donkey Kong, like the combination of like the yellow and the green. That's probably my favorite N64 color scheme combo. But this one is definitely a unique one to have on the shelf. So very nicely done. And $20. I mean, for about what you'd spend for an N64, you get a box N64 with the ugliest controller.
Now, notice the people are saying that. I think the Gatorade one looks fine. So that's so nah.
Gatorade.
And so that rounds it up for everybody. And now we're going to get into our donors, right? So this is the meat and potatoes.
Yep, and this is where we're talking about.
Actually, it's more like just the big, huge pot of potatoes. There's no meat in here.
No meat in this.
Hey,
all taters all the time.
There's a couple good things in here somewhere.
A few tots mixed in with the potatoes there.
Yeah, I think we'll find some chunky goodness. So we mentioned it earlier in the show, but remember, these are our donors. These are the people that gave enough. So we're going to talk about all their pickups.
All
since the last
them.
show.
Yeah,
all of them, whether you like it or not.
all of them.
If you
unless I can't read the name of the game, in which I'll make a game up.
And if you don't like it, you can always skip ahead to the time code for the regular topic.
So for the three listeners that are left here,
yeah, that's right. You can stick it through. So first off, we have the ever lovable Zagnort, right?
Yup.
And
the Zagcast.
So let's dig in. I see right off the bat he got Super Mario World. He didn't have Super Mario World?
I don't think he picks up games he doesn't have. I think he just picks up games.
Exactly. Zag buys cheap, and he does what every collector should do. He buys stuff cheap, and he either sells it or it's trade bait. If I have
or he
Super Mario
has
World,
annual yearly gifts.
And the best part is he lists it as a loose NES cart. In the thread, so I'm sure that he just missed the S key.
Yeah, sure.
Or he's really confused why that cartridge won't jam into the slot.
Yeah, he's broken the first 4 games and he doesn't know what is the problem right now.
All right, now there was a Super Mario World pirate for the Famicom, so
he's got a picture of it though. It's definitely not that.
I'm trying here.
So Mario World, Wild Snake, Lord of the Rings,
Brain Lord.
Brain Lord.
Isn't that an
like
awesome
saying
name?
Brain Lord.
Brain Lord. Miss Pac-Man, Desert Strike. So a bunch of loose SNES games.
What did you say?
Yeah, don't say that.
SNES.
Oh.
I gotcha.
Didn't you read that interview with Howard Phillips over on Nintendo Age there?
He's not the boss of me.
You don't say that. He was the boss of Nintendo. You don't say that.
He's not the boss of me. I don't work there. You keep 32XF out of the show. I'm saying SNES.
Yeah, I think we need NES rules to throw a ban down on Bill here till he learns his lesson.
See, Bill forgets who edits. So what I can do is, like, every time he says SNES, I'm going to edit in Super Nintendo Entertainment System.
You should. I would love to give you that work. He also has Stuntman for the Jiba.
The Jiba?
The Jiba. Yes, it looks like a complete Stuntman. Boombatastic.
Bombastic. Or it's Bombastic.
Bombastic, yeah, that's what I thought.
Bombastic.
Yeah, by Shaggy.
And then some Game Informer mags. He got that.
One of many lots he will have over the next little while we'll be mentioning.
Yeah. And then, like, what's some What? The next what? Pack and what?
Pack and Roll for the DS and Pokemon Ranger for the DS.
And then he picked up a PAL PSP game, God of War: Chains of Olympus. I didn't even realize there was PAL PSPs. They're just European
Didn't
models,
know anyone
right? They're not
bought
really
those
PAL.
anywhere.
Or are they PAL? They may be. I don't know. And then next he's gonna amp up your Skylanders bid. You were trying to keep up a little bit with him, Krabby, right? But he's pulling ahead here.
I can't. No, I'm not in the same league. He's got all the variants. He's offered me like variants and things. I just can't even keep up with what he's offering to send me in the mail.
So he got the Skylanders Giants Wii U starter kit.
Yeah, so I'm kind of curious how many starter kits that is from, because those aren't cheap. Those are the ones that come with the portal and the game and the 3 guys to get you going.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty
Don't
sure
they, like,
he's got a
retail
few
between
different
like
ones.
$60 and $100?
Yeah, they're like
He probably found it all at Goodwill.
$79.99 normally. I'm sure he found it for a little cheaper, but he's still 50, 60, 70 bucks for each one.
I don't know. And then he got 5 more of the Skylander Giants figures.
Yeah, grabbed a 3-pack. One of the ones that had like an extra dungeon or extra item or something in it. And then just a couple single guys.
So I'm curious, on the Wii U, since it has like a near-field communications reader in the controller,
Nope.
do you still have a Portal of Power for the Wii U?
And the sad thing is, the Portal of Power plugs into the system with a USB cord, and my PS3 one is wireless.
Makes sense.
I don't understand.
It's a lot like didn't the drum set for the, I know no one played it or bought it, but didn't the drum set for Rock Band for the Wii, wasn't it USB even though everything else was wireless?
I don't know. Maybe. Well, he also got 3-in-1 converter, so he can use PlayStation 2 controls on Xbox, GameCube, or PC.
Yeah, very cool.
I would like one of those for my Xbox.
There you go. Maybe
Not
next
that I
Christmas
ever play it.
he'll give it to you. And then he got a $20 gift card from Razor Knuckles, huh?
Yeah. Spreading
pretty cool.
Spreading the holiday joy there.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't realize that bromance was as deep as it seems to be.
Well, I think all those little Sonic oddities that Zagnorch picks up kind of go to Razor Knuckles, so he's probably just kind of a thank you there.
There you go. Now, he also got a sealed game up next, right?
Monster Rancher for what, the Game Boy Color?
I think so.
Or is it just a regular Game Boy Color? That's got to be Color in that Monster Rancher.
Game Boy,
era.
yeah, Game Boy Color, Monster Rancher Battle Card. Yeah, it's for a Game Boy Color.
And then I've never heard of this at all. Felony 1179. What is that?
Me neither. And the company that makes it, I only knew them from making like joysticks.
Yeah, for PlayStation. What is it?
Yeah, it's looks like some sort of game where a car is coming out of the screen at you.
Awesome.
Same thing. I've literally never heard of it. Like, there's a billion racing games out there, but like the Ford, like the Mustang game, the Ferrari game. You've heard of most of them. I've never heard of this game.
I think it's Felony 1179 because it turns it all the way up to 11.
It's got to be it.
And what's the 79 for? That's the year of the car?
That's how much
sure.
the game costs. $1.79. He got it for $1.25, so he got a good deal.
And then we had Donkey Kong Land 2 for the Game Boy.
For $2.
Woohoo!
Yep, he's rolling in it.
And then you had some regular Xbox games coming up, right?
Yeah, actually not too bad ones either.
Freedom Fighters.
Yeah, I could do without that one, but the other two are good.
Silent Hill 2.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, I think I'm not a huge Silent Hill fan, but most people I know who are cite that as their favorite one.
the first one kind of creeped me out too much. I never played the other ones.
Oh,
Yeah, the first one. Yeah,
you got to play
creeped me out, too.
Shattered Memories then for the Wii. They like remade the first one, like completely reimagined it. It's extra creepy. It's awesome.
That's all right.
Cool.
I think I've had enough.
You never get a weapon in the entire game. You have no way to defend yourself.
That's awesome.
And
Does
then
it still have that creepy like radio thing where like it gets like more staticky when stuff gets near you?
Yeah, and it comes out of the Wii remote controller.
That was the creepiest thing for me. So yeah, so Silent Hill 2, very good. Metal Slug Collection, kind of a not so common one to come across.
And they're awesome games. Who doesn't love Metal Slug?
I don't know anyone who doesn't love Metal Slug. And he's got the NES Advantage, so now all he needs is an NES to Xbox adapter so he can play Metal Slug with his NES Advantage.
ta-da! And he also got Resident Evil 4.
Yeah, the lamest of Resident Evils.
Whatever. No tank controls.
Yeah. I haven't
Control's
I
rock.
haven't played all of it, so I can't comment.
I can
but,
honestly say I've played more Resident Evil Outbreak than I have played Resident Evil 4.
Now wait a minute. So neither of you have
Online,
finished
even.
Resident Evil 4?
Oh yeah, I finished it.
It's-
I just played way more
it's-
Resident
yeah,
Evil
it's-
Outbreak.
It's not my kind of game. I played a couple hours of it, and it didn't really hook me. I know it's awesome, and I know I'm in the minority on this, but it just didn't click with me, so I didn't finish it.
Tisk tisk.
Yeah.
And then next you got, oh boy, I'm sorry. You picked up Super Mario Sunshine.
I like that game.
Oh, this is one of the rare times
You're
when
the one?
I'm in agreement with Duke.
Oh man, that game's a stinker.
I like that
I
game.
didn't think it was a
What?
stinker, but it's definitely one of my least favorite Marios.
The Flood.
Oh
man, that was so bad.
Oh, that was great.
Didn't even make any sense.
Oh, and that's why you play Mario games? Because flying through galaxies on bits of stars
At least
makes
that's
sense.
usually pretty cool. I mean, who wouldn't want to do that? I don't want a
Hey.
big water tank strapped to my back and have to clean everything.
You gotta have a clean society to have Mario Sunshine.
My problem was Mario's a platformer, and when you give him a thing that makes it so he can like float and doesn't need to platform, it's just not any
Yeah.
fun.
So you gave him Princess Peach power
Yeah,
from Mario 2.
Pretty much.
I think like Miyamoto's like half brother must have needed a job or something, and he's like, okay, fine, here you go.
He also got The Adventures of Batman and Robin on Sega CD.
Nice.
Ta-da!
That's a good game.
And Cool Spot for the Genesis.
Yep. And then Mario 64 and a gray Ocarina of Time, or Ocarina, depending on where you come from.
Doo, doo, doo. Can you do the little ocarina songs? Do you know them?
I actually, there's a, yeah, that was, yeah, I recognize that one.
When that game was out, did you guys try and figure out actual songs and like play them on your Ocarina?
What?
You
I did
could
the-
like go
I did the other
online
way.
and people actually like had tablature for
Oh,
Ocarina
yeah,
songs. Like
yeah,
you
they
could play like the
kidding
Simpsons
me.
theme and stuff on your Ocarina.
There's an iOS app called Monsters, and it's just like 10 monsters kind of like lined up, and each one of them is kind of like the key on a keyboard. But like when you touch one of the monsters, they're like la, like in whatever the thing is. And I just open up this app and play Zelda stuff on it all the time. But I did the other way. Because I play piano. So when I played Ocarina, I would like finish playing and I would go to the piano and I'd play all the songs that were in Ocarina.
Nice.
And did you record Navi so she would just, hey, hey,
Nope.
hey?
No, that's because my mom. It was like, we gotta go. We gotta go. Hey, what are you doing? Do your homework. Hey, listen.
I don't hang out with that many people with cell phones, but like 4 of the 5 of them have that as their like notification for a text message.
Oh, the hey.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's a pretty funny one. You know what? Every single person who's like kind of like into video games that I know has as one of their phone tones is the Metal Gear Solid codec beep.
Oh yeah, I've got a friend
And-
that's got that too.
Yeah, and like I know it was clever at first, but like I just feel like everyone has it.
It's
So
played
if you
out.
so if you have that, I'm sure you're really still a cool person, but please change that thing.
Unless you
I
have
don't
like
wanna-
a cardboard box sleeve to put your phone in.
yeah, yeah. Unless an exclamation point pops out of your head when someone hears your phone.
Or if you
Change
creep
it.
around underneath a cardboard box. That works too. An orange box. All right, back to Zagnort. She got him a Kingdom Hearts guide. So, Bill, that should make you
I
happy.
think it was Kingdom Hearts
Yup.
2 though.
It's Kingdom Hearts 2. There was actually, I think, 4 special edition guides that were available for the game. I was working at Best Buy at the time they came out, so and they were kind of like in a sleeve. So I knew which one I wanted. There's like 4 like ultimate forms or like limit break type forms that you can have in the game. So you can kind of like peel back a little bit of the plastic, and you could see one was yellow, one was red, one was white, one was blue. And the white is like the ultimate form. So I went through and like I kind of cut the plastic a little bit to make sure I got the ultimate form. Because the package came with the guide and then like a journal, which was filled with stickers that you could like put stickers like on your progress as you collected stuff. So yeah, he got one of the collector edition Kingdom Hearts 2 guides. So very nice.
So, do we know if he got the ultimate one then?
He did not. Well, he did not. The form that he got, it's the yellow one. The ultimate form was like a silvery white. So he got the yellow.
So, he should take it back.
No, it's still a good guide.
And he also got a copy of Game Pro.
Yeah, Halo 3 Game Pro. It looks like a GBA, like the original crystal, like that bluish purpley crystal color.
So, rest in peace, Game Pro. We knew you well.
Yeah.
I didn't know them
And-
that well.
I used to read it like way back when they started, and like Scary Larry, and like the reviews. Like if it was really good, it was like a dude's head exploding.
Oh yeah.
So next you got Sonic and the Black Knight. So that should make like Razor Knuckles happy, right?
Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised if that ends up in Razor Knuckles' hands.
Maybe. And then a GBA system.
Oh yeah, we mentioned
Yeah.
GBA, but the Pocket Boy number 8.
That LCD
I'm
thing.
not familiar with this,
He said it,
and it looks.
like a Japanese, Chinese like knockoff thing.
Yeah, you can see like on the packaging. If you look close, you can see the characters on it. So it's definitely from that side, from the Far East.
Oh yeah.
So very cool. Not sure where he picked it up. I think he said he got it. I don't remember if he said where he got it or not.
Well, I don't know.
Yeah.
And then picked up a couple more pieces of reading material, right? So what else?
Another magazine that starts with Game. A third different kind now, is it?
Yeah.
Like Game Informer, Game Pro, and now Game Center.
Never heard of that one.
Me neither. Well, it's Walmart's gaming magazine,
Walmart has a gaming magazine?
and it's free.
Oh, my
Oh.
wife picked me up one of those the other day. I haven't even touched it. She brought it home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's just like
I-
ads.
Yeah, I don't think it's. I think it's kind of like
Coming
you know
soon.
how
type
GameStop
thing.
used to have that thing it's like a 20-page like it's just like a single staple type magazine. You know what I mean? Like it's not like like
Yeah.
a full size thing. So
Like a flyer.
Yeah, like a glorified flyer, but it's got like news and previews and stuff. He's got a how to draw Sonic book in there. I don't know how he comes across all this weird Sonic stuff.
I don't know.
I think he's just on the lookout for his bro.
I think so.
I think he buys them online and then like hides them as small scores he found in town just so he can brag to Razor Knuckles.
Yep.
And he did get a really good. I mean, it's some people say good, some people not as much. But he picked up Chrono Cross, right?
Not bad.
I like
not
that
bad.
game.
Yeah.
I love one of my favorite Square songs of all time is "Scar of Time," the song that opens up that game.
Mm-hmm.
If you can just find that long enough to hear that song and then trade the game away, it's worth it.
I bought that when it was new and hated it and brought it back to the guy and traded it for Lunar 2, which I loved.
Good call.
And then I played it again like 10 years later and I like it now.
It grows
Yeah.
on you like fungus.
It is weird. It is not. We won't get too deep into it, but it's not my favorite combat system.
All right. They picked up a little GBA accessory pack, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, it looks like it's faded.
You get cases and extra styluses and headphones and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, sure.
But
I guess stylus,
doesn't he
I'm
have
thinking
one of
of
the
DS.
pieces you're looking for there, Crab?
The charger?
Yeah, it looks like that's the backplate chargy piece.
I'm not looking for that. I'm looking for an official Nintendo charger.
Oh, sorry,
Come on.
sorry.
oh yeah.
Goes with my official Nintendo cabinet.
There you go. And then he got the game case
Yeah,
thing that you've been
I
raving
think
about.
Bill
right, Bill?
started a little trend there.
Yep, I'm the first domino in the row.
And then there was
when
like
you,
four of them after that.
Yeah, a bunch of people, looked like they were they took the lead and grabbed it. It's actually really really nice little case with it's a Club Nintendo. So if you're not already on Club Nintendo, just jump on there. It's free. Put in your codes when you buy,
Or just give all the codes to me. That's okay.
or just give the codes away. Yeah,
Sure.
people are always looking for the codes. And basically, so it can hold 18 DS or 3DS cartridges inside, and they have 4 reversible inserts in there, so you can choose the design you want. I myself chose the Zelda, the correct one to choose.
The Zelda one
It's,
drives me
all-
nuts because inside you've got like 8-bit items and then like 3D rendered items, and they just look so bizarre next to each other.
The reason I don't mind that is because it's kind of like a chronological museum of Zelda. You get to see kind of the whole evolution.
The only reason that wouldn't bother me is because I can put games in front of the ones I don't like.
You know the only thing that bothers me is you already have 3DS cases.
Yeah, but I don't have any that can hold 18 carts,
You
and you know
do
how smart
now.
it is to put all your eggs in one basket.
That's right.
So smart.
We talked about
So-
this before. I'm having some deja
Yeah.
vu.
So if anybody wants any of the 3 inserts besides the Zelda one, I have them. They're available. Just let me know.
All right. And up next, we have a couple Xbox items, right?
If you say so.
Big Mother Truckers. Yeah.
That's right.
I think that actually sold fairly well up here because when I worked at the rental store, we had a lot of shelf space for those kind of games.
People like driving the big rigs, man.
It's pretty common up here. Yeah, there's lots of oil and logging, so there's lots of big rig drivers around the area.
But here's the thing, like if you like drive a big rig, like when you get home and you turn on the TV and you're ready to relax, do you want to turn on like Big Mother Truckers or 18-wheeler American Pro like trucker? Like, do you want to do that in your off time?
Yeah.
So I always thought it was more of the people who dreamed of being a trucker that could go home and play the game.
All I can say is there's a funny song I heard one time is 18 Wheels on the Big Rig. Go look it up. You'll have a good laugh.
Okay. All right.
And then he also got one I heard is not so good. Toe Jam and Earl 3.
Yeah, I haven't played the Xbox one yet. The old ones were so good, so it's probably not going to be as good as those, but I don't know how it is.
Yeah, I don't know. Didn't hear good things. Neverwinter Nights 2, guys. Is that a PC game?
Yeah.
Yes, it
Baldur's
is.
Gate, right?
Correct, yeah. Oh, no,
No?
sorry. Neverwinter... I think Baldur's Gate was its own thing, and Neverwinter... I know it's PC, but I didn't play Neverwinter Nights.
I thought it was under the Baldur's Gate like realm. I could be wrong though. I used to have a friend who played that one a lot, and that Neverwinter.
That's our crack research staff, folks.
Yeah.
We do our homework.
No, you know what it was? It was a BioWare game, and it was... it wasn't in the D&D universe, was it?
Didn't all that stuff Forgotten Realms? That's the Ari Salvatore
Maybe
stuff.
that's what I'm thinking. Maybe it's no. No, I think it's Baldur's Gate, isn't it? I don't know. Someone will correct me.
I don't know.
Forgotten Realms, Neverwinter
Forgotten
Nights.
Realms.
I don't think
Yeah.
it's...
Not Baldur's Gate,
yeah.
then it's Forgotten Realms.
Bam!
Yeah, and it is a Dungeons & Dragons product as well.
There, we both got
And
screwed.
BioWare and Atari was also involved. So.
Jeez.
Makes sense.
We couldn't have been
As it
more
turns out,
wrong.
everybody made this game.
All right.
Except
now-
Baldur's Gate.
Yeah, Baldur's Gate is the only series that is not involved with that game.
Next up, you had some stuff for the GBA, right? So what do you got?
Lots of cool loose GBA carts, including Super Mario Brothers, Super Mario Advance, Super Mario Advance 2. It looks like.
And Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo Revival. Could they stack something else on there, maybe?
How does that play on the GBA?
I would probably think bad.
with your two face buttons.
Poorly, if I had to guess. And man, how did Nine-Tailed Demon Fox not get this next one? Disney
Princess Royal Adventure. And he actually did make the comment, bet you can't guess who's getting this. So I think we'll see that in a future Small Scores.
Maybe. And a bootleg up next?
Minish Cap or Minish Cap?
Minish,
however
I
you
think.
say
Yeah,
that.
Minish.
But yeah, it's got a bootleg Minish Cap. I think that 360 Atari looking controller is just about the coolest thing I've seen.
Oh, yeah, you're talking about... That's the one everybody wants. That,
Yeah.
like, retro arcade stick thing, whatever it is.
Yeah, pretty cool. And it's got this, like, it's weird. It's got, like, the analog stick kind of on the bottom right quadrant of it. Like, it's just a really weird, quirky looking thing. So he got a boxed one, so...
Did you guys even notice I was gone?
You were gone.
I was
Grammy?
gone. Man.
Oh. You were missing out all the good stuff.
I know, I heard.
You couldn't hear us talking about Disney Princess Royal Adventure.
Oh, I heard everything. I kept the headphones on.
Breath of Fire, Yu-Gi-Oh! Dungeon Dice Monsters. Anybody like Yu-Gi-Oh?
No, not really.
Okay. I mean, like, I was asked because I don't know. I'm not into the whole, that any of those scenes. So I don't know if Yu-Gi-Oh! Is still something that people are into or not.
I would probably play the card game if I had someone to play with.
Okay, I'll allow it.
And up next, I think probably one of the best scores he got is Streets of Rage on the Game Gear. Love me some Streets of Rage.
Is it good on the
Very
Game Gear?
good, yeah.
It's not bad. I mean, I don't think it's not as good as the Genesis, but I don't think it's bad. And then a couple other, you got Sonic Drift 2 for Game Gear, and then Second Sight for the GameCube. I'm not familiar with that one at all.
Looks awesome. It looks like the cover of Max Payne 3.
Yeah, I don't know that one. And Samurai Warriors for the PlayStation 2. I'm not usually into those kind of games a whole lot, but it's kind of cool. Summoner. I don't know that one either. I remember the title, but I've never played it.
I played the second one. It's kind of boring.
We should no. Well, we probably shouldn't say that because he mentions that he picked it up
For
for
someone
because it was on there. Keep an eye out
it's
for
great.
him. So, oh my god, it's so good.
The
You get to
second one is
summon.
bad.
You get to summon all sorts of things because you're the summoner.
And he picked up, along with a lot of other people, got their final issue of Nintendo Power, right?
Yeah, there was lots of those floating around. More than 3DS cases, thankfully.
I'm still waiting patiently. Haven't got it yet. And then he got a little GameCube lot.
This is my favorite pickup of his all month.
Yeah. So what all he getting that? Pretty cheap.
One of my favorite, one of my probably top 3, Fire Emblem: Path of Radiance on the GameCube.
Oh, I thought you were going to talk about Resident Evil 4 being your favorite. Man, come on, man.
I didn't say least favorite. Did you miss that? Yeah, Fire Emblem, amazing. So happy you picked that up for $5. And then Resident Evil 4, picked up that. Yeah. Wind Waker, Pokemon XD, Gale of Darkness, and Crystal Chronicles still sealed.
Nice.
I remember
Probably want to
spending
keep it that way.
way too much money so we could play Crystal Chronicles with all the GBAs and the chords, and we spent a lot of money, played it for one afternoon. That was it.
I would like to see somebody do that, but use, instead of GBAs, GameCubes with Game Boy players and like 5 TVs, like all stacked.
Yeah,
up.
they had a thing on Racket Boy a long time ago about someone doing that with 4 swords. It looked awesome.
That is pretty cool. And he got Final Fantasy Tactics for the PlayStation 1. So that's a good one.
The more we read what Zag picked up this month, the more depressed it makes me.
What is
about my current my recent hunts or searches. I don't know, he must live on like the island of misfit video games where they all, like, everyone just throws them out and the video games just land in his backyard. Not only is he getting like
with
all,
the $2
like,
price sticker on them.
Yeah, everything is like $2. He must live near the best Goodwill. And how many Wii U games has he found? Like 37?
Seems like it, yeah. Seems like
Man,
it.
What a guy.
Now he also got Turok for the N64. I'm sorry.
I love that game. I love
What?
how sorry, I shouldn't say that. I don't love the game. I love when I first played it and then like you shoot like a dude and then blood shoots out of his throat like 30 feet, like in this big arc. I remember thinking that was cool, and then I didn't play it past the first level.
I remember, like, was it like Turok 2 or 3 or something like that? But they started getting like the really crazy special weapons. And they had like this one
that like
thing
burrowed
called,
into someone's head, didn't it?
Yeah, the cerebral bore.
Yeah.
Where it would like you shot this thing and it would like just drill into their head.
Yeah, I never played it.
Yeah, one of my friends growing up was huge into Turok, loved them.
It was
Really? I didn't know there were any closet Turok fans.
Oh, he wasn't closet. That was literally like the only games he owned for his system were Turok 1, 2, 3, and Zelda. And
So he did like
What did he-
cosplay for Turok.
What did he do for a living? Was he actually a dinosaur hunter, and that's why he loved going home and playing dinosaur hunter games?
I think he was a trucker, actually.
He wasn't a Final Fantasy tactician.
And then he also got Twin Cobra for the Sega Genesis. That's a fun little shooter. Not too bad. And then what else did he get?
Some more GBAs, of course.
Yep.
This man, like, he could build like a castle out of Game Boy Advance.
Telling you.
And then all the like furniture inside would be made out of Pokemon cards too.
and random Sonic stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then, so we got a GTA Vice City codebook?
Yeah, no, it's Ultimate Codes. I don't think it's a book. I think it's like one of those code like disc with memory card combo.
Oh.
Like you would put it in and like
a
tell
cheat
it.
thing.
Yeah, like a cheat thing, but just for that game, I think.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I remember seeing those in stores. I never used them, but I think that's how they work.
Oh, cool. And he got The Thing for PS2. I didn't know they made a game about. Is it about the movie, The Thing?
Yes.
I heard it's actually not too bad.
Really?
Yeah, the movies are actually pretty cool. If anyone out there hasn't seen them, and the brand new one they just remade, it's kind of a weird prequel to the one that was made, to the original. But they're both pretty interesting.
And of course, we came across another Wii U game.
Yeah,
of course,
his
right?
12th
Of course,
copy
yeah.
of Nintendo Land.
I feel bad because it took him so long to find this one. He hasn't found a Target salvage game since like a week before Christmas. That's almost 3 weeks. He went almost 3 weeks without finding a $12 Wii U game.
Yeah, to make up for it was $13 though instead of 20 this time.
And then the Redneck Rampage trilogy.
That's a winner right there.
Well, it's as far as he's concerned, greatest FPS series this side of Quake.
Nothing says excitement like shooting hillbillies.
I'd play it.
I'm sure you would, though. And so it looks like he got something that was a little non-video game related, right? I have to.
Yeah, Warhammer.
I don't what?
Warhammer.
Yeah,
40K?
the Warhammer novel.
I don't know what that is.
Really?
Yeah, I think that's a Warhammer novel. The Ultramarines.
Yeah. He said it's like an omnibus, like a collection of a couple different the Warhammer stories, I think, and it had like short stories and stuff in it.
Nope, don't know anything.
You know the
Duke, are you familiar with Warhammer 40K?
Nope.
You know those little figures that people like paint and then roll dice and they attack each other?
Oh, you mean no? I don't. I have no clue what you're talking about.
Just go into like a hobby shop and you'll see some stinky guys playing it.
Yeah. Any place you go, it's like where any one of those gaming shops where they have kind of like terrain set up, where it kind of looks like a big kind of like mini like battleground setup.
No, wait a minute, Krabby. Did you say stinky guys?
Oh yeah, every single one of them stinks like crap.
Well, then why would I want to go play a game with people that stink?
I didn't say you'd want to play it. I said you would be quite aware of it.
The training regiment to play involves becoming stinky so that you don't notice the stink of others.
Is that like part of the initiation as they rub their stink on you?
No, that's the initiation is you have to gain your own stink. You have to earn it.
No, I don't know anything about this. So,
I thought they just couldn't shower until they'd painted their entire army.
I play games where you plug them in and sit on a couch. I don't have to leave my house.
I'm going to link this episode to my coworker. He plays these games.
So it's okay.
Yeah, he's come over here and played them with me. He wants me to get into them.
So we'll know when Krabby doesn't show up for the next episode. He's probably like out in the woods, dead somewhere. We know who to blame.
I'm being made into terrain pieces, bone trees and stuff like that.
Oh, that's awesome.
Now, next is the game. You were talking, Krabby, a minute ago about Baldur's Gate, so he did get a Baldur's Gate.
Yeah, and he got a really awesome one. I love the Dark Alliance games. Both of them are really good. Second one's much better, but he got the first one, which is still an awesome game.
And he also picked up a Quickshot Python 2 for the NES.
Now you're an accessory guy. Do you have one of those?
I have 2 of them.
Nice.
So they were recently given to me. So I think it was Grey Ghost, if I remember correctly, gave them to me. So
he's going crazy right now that we mentioned his name.
Crazy. He's checked out. He went, no, this is the Zagnorch hour and a half. I've checked out.
Oh, that's right. We'll have to remember to mention his name again when the regular people come
That's
back.
right. And then Zag finally got in on this other craziness. What is the deal with Odyssey?
I don't know. There's little trends over here at RFGen. Like first it was like 32X everyone was into, and then
whoa. That's not a trend. That's the future.
No, not everybody.
It'll be gone in a month. Come on. And then there was like
God, I hope so. That'd be great.
Of course, it'll be done in a month because there's only like 10 games to get. I mean,
then there was like the complete your N64 trend for a little while there.
Yeah, for like a week, 2 guys
pick up your 3DS case trend.
So I see. This is one that you actually didn't start, Bill.
The sell your web of fire trend
for $50. Yeah,
there you go. Boy, that thing just kicked up fast. But Zag wanted to get in with the cool kids and get him an Odyssey too.
Yeah.
So so he picked up a system.
Yeah,
right?
And he did get up with the cool kids because he picked up not just an Odyssey 2, but he got the Quest for the Rings complete in box with all the
Quest for the Rings.
Most of the little doodads. I think he was missing one thing. He said.
Now, do you think that's a ripoff of something?
No.
Dragons, Quest for the Rings.
Sword of Shannara? No?
Sure, if you say so.
But yeah, that's a really awesome complete in box. Very cool item.
You know, one thing I've not seen from all these Odyssey 2 nuts, or Odyssey Squared, or how do you say that? I don't O2?
Odyssey 2.
O2, let's go with O2.
You know, they had like a voice synthesizer for that thing.
Did they?
That plugged in the front. I've not seen anybody put pictures of that one up. So all you Odyssey 2 nuts, go search. It's just called The Voice. So go find that and post some pictures.
So they should be getting royalties off that television show.
The Voice.
The Voice.
That's what I'm
I
gonna say.
think
No
it
one's
predates.
no one's googling The Voice and not coming up with
Odyssey
with that
2
TV show.
accessories. Yeah.
I think Magnavox should turn around and sue, NBC or whatever.
Yeah.
So, wow.
It's done!
That's it?
Yay! That's Zag.
Actually, one more thing I wanted to mention was his holiday giveaway that he did again this year for the second year.
He did. Ho, ho, ho.
Yeah, he's very generous. He obviously, this is just over the last month, he's picked up all this stuff. And over the year, he accumulates some things that he just gives away for free. He even covers the shipping costs to members who just say, I want that. Whoever says it first gets it. And it's got to put him back a couple $100 worth of shipping. And he does it anyway.
Now, Krabby, you got something from him, right?
Yeah, something quite special. Mine was a little late because he was putting together my own little game.
What did you get? This is hilarious. I'm sorry, I love this one.
A little while ago, over Canadian Thanksgiving, not the weird one you guys have, I had to go in and get my appendix torn from my body. And so he sent me this little game that's got a nice glossy Hagar printout. And he's scarred him with this little appendix scar on the side, and then he's made me these little handmade appendixes to pin the appendix back on Hagar.
That would be appendices, right? That's the plural of appendix.
Why would you want to plural that word?
I love the official rule book that he gave you. So the Give Krabby New Appendix party game. So he gives all the instructions, and then I love that at the bottom of the page in a smaller font, he's got all the copyrights for everything involved on that poster. Oh, so great!
That is, oh my gosh, I don't know how you come up with this stuff, but
yeah, thank you for
really
spending the time and making such a personalized gift. It was delightful, and I wish I would have taken a picture of my wife's face while I was opening it and getting her to read it as well.
That's funny.
I wish I could have seen the customs guy who opened it up before it got to you. What the hell are these kids playing these days?
And he sent me a little goodie. He sent me an Optimus Prime mask. So
oh, that's right. Yeah,
I had so much fun laughing at that one picture that he had. So he sent me a little one. It's like a little kid's mask. It doesn't fit quite right, but he basically put a note in that says, "Here's your starter mask. Once you've got this master, then you can move up to the big boy mask."
Now you have to get
That's
some
great.
little dinky Nerf guns to go with it too.
There you go. Like a straw with Optimus Prime on it.
Every time I see Nerf guns out and about, I'm like, oh, I should grab this for him. But then I'm like, oh, he's got to have
He
this.
probably has
It's
it.
like this. Yeah, so if I ever find a weird Connecticut variant Nerf gun, I'll grab it for him.
Isn't that the weird part? Is that in this giant list of stuff we just read, there was not one Nerf item.
That's got to be the first month of ever.
I'm kind of surprised that he
think of a Nerf
stuck
thing.
to all gaming stuff too. I was expecting
Yeah.
some little more bizarre items from Zeg Norch in there.
Yeah, especially knowing that it was going to get talked about.
Maybe he was trying to be nice to everybody, right?
Well, he wasn't, because there was way too much stuff in there.
And we have a few more to go.
Yeah, these a couple of them a little less though. So Mr. Souza, he donated, so he didn't get very much this month though. So he got two things. One of them is very disturbing to me.
You got more than two things. You got quite a few there.
Wait. Oh, okay.
You got,
a few.
two things in one day, and then the next
Yeah,
day.
he had two things. Yeah, the first day he got stuff, he got two things.
Okay. I was still horrified by the first one on the list. So
Oh, I love that thing. I would sit it. Yeah.
Have you guys ever played Cooking Mama?
Yes, I love it.
I thought for a minute
So
you were going to say Cocaine Mama.
No. I haven't played that either. So Cooking Mama is a Wii game that's actually, I don't play it, but I've watched my wife play it. She loves it. Or sorry, not Wii game. It's a DS game.
It's a Wii game too.
Oh, is
Yeah.
it really? So yeah, she plays it on DS. So from the same universe, Sauza picked up a babysitting mama doll with the Wii game included.
Yeah, I was so close to buying that 2 days before he posted that, and then I kind of forgot about it. And then he posted it. I'm like, oh, I should have went and bought it. Now I'm the guy without it.
The disturbing part though is you have to put like the Wiimote inside
In
the
the baby,
baby,
yeah.
right?
Yep, because when you have to like when you're playing, it's with the baby, and the motion sensor kind of picks up on it. So if you have to like kind of shake
Shake the
bounce
baby, yeah.
on your knee, or shake the baby, or burp the baby.
So the very first thing you have to do with this game is violate a child
And then
by sticking
The
the
first
Wiimote.
interactive baby and Wii game together at
and
last.
then you do the thing that all the posters at the hospital tell you not to do and shake the baby repeatedly.
Yep. Never shake a baby.
That's a great way to start off. And he also got a cheap U-Draw tablet. for
At
360,
least if
right?
you drop your baby, your Wii remote's pretty safe in there.
That's right.
That baby.
Yeah.
Who cares about the baby? But your Wiimote's fine. So we got the U-Draw. He got Rocksmith for 360.
That's a cool one.
To learn how to play
Rocksmith,
guitar.
I'm really curious to try that
Rocksmith
one out.
it's awesome. I played it about 6 months before it came out at a Ubisoft event, and I was a little skeptical going in, and I loved it. I can't tell you how cool it is, and it works exactly the way that you would hope it does, and it's so cool. If you're at all into guitar, not even learning, even if you play guitar, it's still awesome. There's all these cool little mini games in there, like a Space Invaders Galaga.
You heard there's like a
thing
Tetris
where-
one to help you with like your chord changes
Yeah.
too.
Yeah, and your fingering scales. So if you need to go quickly from 579 1179, it helps you with so there's like enemies coming at you and they all have numbers on them, and you have to hit the correct
It's like,
string.
typing
So-
tutor. That's awesome.
Exactly, yeah. Before you know it, you're playing the scale, and you're like, oh, I just thought I was fighting aliens. So it's like Mr. Miyagi fooled you into learning guitar.
So it's like Guitar of the Dead.
It's really good. It really is. I've heard War in the North is good, but I haven't played it.
Yeah.
That was a really bad segue there.
Well, no, they're in the same post. Yeah, I should have
It's like in the
separated the
same sentence
enthusiasm.
and everything.
Rocksmith is awesome and More Than This sucks. Okay, next.
Rocksmith, oh my god, it's so great. War in the North might be all right.
Next. He did get a couple Lego games for the PC. I was talking to Krabby about these earlier. I don't really care for these. You guys like the Lego games?
They're fun, but when you
I
played one, you
played-
played them all.
Yeah, exactly. Like the Star Wars ones were decent. I played Lego Indiana Jones to the max out all the achievements and everything, and it's cool and everything. But yeah, it's the same thing. Like they're cool, but like I'm not gonna go out of my way to play them.
And they're more fun with another person. They're kind of boring by yourself.
Totally. Yeah, if you had a couple they're probably excellent for kids.
Oh yeah, my brother, or not my brother, my son. I get those two confused all the time.
Makes sense.
His cousins have literally like every single one of them, and they have like 3 copies of them because they have them on different systems. They just eat these things up like crazy. They love them.
Yeah, he got Batman and Harry Potter, so kind of interesting.
Yeah.
He got an old PC game, right?
That Bill's
Woo!
excited about.
I guess.
Yep. I love the Seventh Guest. It's so cool. And Shadow even commented that he had played it as well. Back when it first came out, there was a glitch in it that made it so you couldn't complete the game, and he didn't know about that, so he just spent like an entire summer trying to beat the game. But yeah, Seventh Guest, a big box of PC game.
That's one of the
it,
one of the PC games I can like count on my fingers that I actually played when it was current too.
Yeah, really, really cool game. 11th Hour was the one that came out after that, and the company actually just a few years ago, Trilobite Games, that made those two games, they actually kind of like reestablished with one of the original owners, and they're making all their old games on the iPhone now. So you can get Seventh Guest on the iPhone. They say they're working on 11th Hour, but it's been a while since any news came out. So pause. Now he also got Quantum Redshift on the Xbox, which I actually remember looking forward to this game because I was a big like Extreme G fan at the time.
You were
and I
surprised there
really
was
into-
Turok fans and you were a big Extreme G fan?
Oh yeah, Extreme G2 when you could break the sound barrier, when you like exploded into it and then exploded back out of it when you came out was so cool. So yeah, well, there's Wipeout fans out there. You can't make fun of us.
They're out
I'm
there.
not making fun of the Wipeout fans.
Yeah.
I'm making fun of the Extreme G fans.
Nothing wrong with Extreme G2 and Extreme
I-
G3 on the PS2.
I didn't mind the Extreme G games. It's just I didn't know there was like a cult fan base of them.
Hey, you said cult. I didn't say cult. I just said I remember looking forward to Quantum Redshift because I liked high-speed futuristic racers. And then I was a huge Shark Tale fan, so I couldn't wait for the Shark Tale game to come out. and Salza picked that up too, as well as a Little Mermaid.
Little Mermaid 2. Get it right.
Keeping the old Under the Sea theme there, hey?
That's right, where she magically grows a fishtail again for some reason.
No, and that's where THQ probably started going wrong with their bankruptcy deal, because that was a THQ game.
Maybe that's the prequel, Duke, where they explain everything you wanted to know that was unanswered in the movie.
No, which was nothing.
So, can someone tell me what a Zappit is? Because I'm unfamiliar.
It's that Game Wave.
Game Wave system.
Yeah, it looks like just like trivia games on disc there.
It looks kind of like.
So you bought this little. It looks like a fairly inexpensive plastic little cheapy system, but it just played Game Wave discs and that's it.
I don't know, to be honest. It's got like some little remotes, and the game's kind of like Crab was saying, like these little like trivia games or something.
Yeah, it almost just looks like a DVD player with 4 remotes.
Kind of like maybe like the Nuon, right? That played DVDs and games.
I really wonder if you had a DVD player and like 3 universal remotes, if you could play those games on it.
Maybe you need the Game Wave so you have the special remotes.
Well, the remotes just look like they have a number pad on them.
Yep.
Look, I'm trying here. I'm trying, Bill. Cut me some slack.
Well, we'll have to check out Sal's YouTube page when he posts a multiplayer session with that thing.
There you go. Somebody go do their homework and find out what a Game Wave is. And then he picked up, oh man, all right. The next is another PC game. Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix.
I've got that on the Wii.
I wasn't a fan.
No.
Yeah. Stuart Little 2 on the PS1?
Nah,
No?
not really doing it for me.
Game Day 99.
Bill only loves the original.
Yes.
That was when they're like 989 Studios, right?
Yeah. You guys know who wrote the original Stuart Little?
I do not.
Like the movie?
Feel like I should.
It's one of those weird pieces of trivia. It's M. Night Shyamalan.
Nope, didn't know that.
That is, I'm not joking.
Dude, what? Really?
Yeah, he wrote the screenplay for Stuart Little 1.
So you get at the end of Stuart Little and he realizes he's dead?
Wow, wow, wow.
Shocker.
But yeah, Stuart Little 2. I remember 989 Studios. That I think it was like a breakaway from Sony.
Yeah.
Wasn't it a Sony made thing, and they just like made the 989 Studios from Sony?
Yeah, it was their in-house.
Yeah. I love Bad Hair Day.
It's pretty decent.
Bad Hair Day is a great album. I like Weird Al.
Yeah, that's next. Again, great segue. Bill. It's like,
hey, I'm just going down.
989 Studios. I love Bad Hair Day.
989 Studios, Bad Hair Day.
Well, I can say that I know nothing about the next one. Masters
Clive
of Horror?
Barker?
What?
You've never heard of Clive Barker?
I don't know. I don't read fiction.
Hellraiser?
Oh, really?
I don't read fiction, really.
Wow, Clive Barker.
There's a few, but I don't read a lot of fiction.
Well,
you watch movies, though, right?
I don't watch a lot of movies.
No?
Well, Clive Barker is Bob Barker's brother.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. Come on down to the horror.
That's not how he sounds, but, but nice.
No, that's how Bob Barker's brother sounds, Clive Barker.
Oh, gotcha.
He's not good at it, or he would be on The Price is Right.
That's great.
He got a guide for Resident Evil 6. I hear Resident Evil 6 is lousy, so...
Yeah, that's a shame. It looked like it might have some potential, and I haven't heard a single good thing about it since it came out.
I hear bad news. Maybe it's like real-life survival horror. You have to survive the game.
Weren't there a couple sites that refused to give it a rating because they didn't feel like it was like it deserved a rating?
Is that like one of those, like, if you have nothing nice to say, don't say anything at all?
Yeah. I can't remember if that was it or not, but I saw like the review had no score at the bottom. It was like, we've decided not to give it a score because it doesn't even deserve it.
No, you know what that means? We've decided not to give them a score because Capcom advertises here and helps pay the bills.
if we dug their Metacritic, yeah, they'll pull some advertisement.
Yup.
Do you guys think the International Winter Sports 2002 has a hockey game in it?
Why is it always going to go back?
No.
Why is it always going to go back?
Just asking the question.
Definitely
Why is it always
not.
going to go back?
No one would release a game with that kind of crap on it.
Nobody wants it.
We'll wait till we get to my scores.
Uh-oh. Well, he did get a good game in there. God of War 2.
I thought you were going to say
That is
MC
a good
Grooves,
game.
because I'd rather play that over God of War.
What?
I don't like God of War.
Man.
Boring.
MC
Boring.
Grooves?
Sure, I'll do the dance craze.
Okay. And then Star Wars Force Unleashed. That was okay.
It's all right.
It was all right. He had a couple Madden games in there. They were free, so I can't be mad at him. Madden 2003.
Yeah, that's about what they're worth.
Yep. I don't know.
You guys skipped over
Might have
Fatal
to pay
Fury
me.
there. That's a fun one.
Fatal Fury?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Battle
Fatal Fury's a good
Archives. Not the best fighter, but it's decent.
one. Right.
And then a whole bunch of paper.
Game Informer.
Mm-hmm.
Which is like
Yep,
just...
a handful of strategy guides, and then a whole bunch of Game Informer.
Now, he did get Demon Sword. That's quality. Right there.
Oh, for the NES cards? Yeah, and the Short Order Explode combo. Pipe Dream, Snake Rattle and Roll.
Mm-hmm.
It's a good mix of games there.
Good stuff. And then one of those magazines you picked up had some signatures on it, right?
Yeah, and I guess Hungry Moose did some Googling and found out that it's most likely some of the staff from Game Informer.
Oh, okay. So does that increase or decrease its value?
I don't know. It's kind of a cool oddity, but
Yeah, I feel like staff is just kind of like a cool thing to have. Like if you're like a fan of the magazine or fan of the writing, but I would imagine that you're not gonna skyrocket the value of that thing.
No, and it was a Star Trek cover. I was kind of hoping it was going to be like Star Trek signatures on there or something.
Yeah, that would definitely. I mean, just with that crowd, that would definitely make it a collector item.
Yeah. And then he picked up a couple more PC games, right? So, you ever heard of these, Bill?
Dead Man's Hand, I have not.
I've seen it at my
Jack-
Walmart for like $5 a lot of times.
Rock and roll.
Yeah, and then Jack the Ripper / Real Crimes 2-pack.
Tupac,
So I
man.
think-
That's like Tupac.
So Tupac.
Represent.
Yeah, so these are obviously these are newer because they're small box and like one's like a jewel case size game. So yeah, I'm not familiar with them, but yeah, picked them up for a thrift store for $4.
Cool. And thank you, Salza or Souza or
Salsa.
for your donation. And there's some interesting things you got there.
Very nice, especially Rocksmith. Go jam that out and play as much Rush as you want.
Razor Knuckles.
Yes, he is a man.
He's my favorite man this month. You know why?
Why is that?
Because he donated $20 and only had one post worth of stuff for us to talk about.
Rock and roll.
One post with 4 items.
So let's spend like a half an hour just on his 4 items, right?
Yeah, let's drag it out because I'm not even joking.
Even
He's
better.
my favorite member this month. More than you
I'm
guys.
going to dissect each thing. So he got a blue Dreamcast pad,
So
right?
tell me about the blue one.
With a red A button, a blue B button,
One of them's
a
green.
yellow X button, and a green Y
you
button.
go.
Also, there's a cord that the controller will plug into the system with. It's wrapped, it looks like 15 times.
What ancient
and
technology.
it has a 5-inch rubber band.
All right.
holding it
Any of the
together.
people that were still listening up to this point have already checked out. So,
Yeah, they're done.
but it's kind of translucent, right? Kind of like blue translucent
Yeah,
plastic.
and
kind
you
of
got
thing.
the VMU
yeah.
to match it.
Yeah, pretty
I
cool.
really hope he was literally going for a Sonic motif there.
Yeah, maybe. And then he got a third-party Rumble pack. Is it like the Tremor pack, or what is it?
Performance, yeah, it was one of the third-party rumblers.
Cool.
That's cool.
And
I
then-
never actually had any Rumble on the Dreamcast before.
Oh,
Oh, I had it on. I was
good.
nuts on $99.99. I bought I had 4 controllers, 4 rumbles, 2 VMUs, like 10 games. It's my favorite system launch.
Wow, that must have set you
That's
back a
pretty
lot
big,
of time.
yeah.
Well, the system was only $200, and the games were like $40 a piece. And you know how sometimes we talk about like you can tell some collectors at some of the posts they have that like they probably don't have to pay rent at this point in life.
yeah.
That was the time of my life that I didn't have any bills except for my spending money.
Sure.
And a little bit of savings for college that was coming up. So that was like my one big, like it probably was like between like, I don't know, $600 and $800, like something like that at the time, which, when you're not paying rent, it's really not awful. But yeah, the Dreamcast launch was my favorite system.
So you didn't try and
launch,
recreate that when the PS3 launched and just got a system with nothing else?
Nope. Did not do that.
Yeah, I got mine at launch too, but I didn't go nearly that crazy. So
Yeah, a lot of great games. NFL 2K, Mortal Kombat Golds, Ready to Rumble, Soul Calibur, so much great stuff that day, on day one. Sonic Adventure.
And unfortunately, Razor Knuckles, the game he had, is not very good.
It's Sonic, though.
You don't like Sonic Adventure 2?
Sonic Adventure 2 is not very good.
I don't like any Sonic Adventure.
The first one's not bad, but the second one's not very good.
What don't you like about it? And don't tell me that it's not realistic.
No, I can't.
I didn't buy the plot.
Yeah.
I didn't think Sonic Adventure 1 was incredibly strong, but as a launch game, it was pretty good. By the time Sonic Adventure 2 ran around, it was kind of like, okay, really?
You know what I find the biggest problem with those games is going back. I went back and I played Sonic Adventure 1 like a month ago, and not having twin sticks for the camera is like a foreign concept to me now, because like having twin sticks on the current gen systems, you just assume that right stick is going to be, if you're right-handed, is going to be to adjust the camera. Not having a camera adjust on that Dreamcast controller on a 3D game, it makes such a big difference.
Yeah. But thank you, Razor Knuckles, for donating.
Very much.
And
taking it
up
easy
next,
on us.
Yeah, no doubt, because the next guy's not taking it easy on us at all.
Nope, he's our least favorite awesome donor of the month.
Hey, now. He's going to make us sing for our supper, though, I think is the idea.
I love the first item that we get to talk about.
Techie 413. So what did he do first?
All right, so Techie 413, our good buddy from the Northwest over there, started off his scores with this new and revised and expanded Skyrim guide, which he will need for Dawn Guard and Hearthfire. Also grabbed Saints Row, Duke Nukem Forever, and Brutal Legend for the Xbox. Brutal Legend's awesome.
I love it, yeah.
You guys play it?
I'm a big fan of it.
I didn't really get Jack Black in that one, right?
But yeah,
Yes.
but more importantly,
Yeah,
it's got Lemmy in it, and Rob Halford, Ozzy's in there, Lita Ford.
Now, can you understand anything Ozzy's saying in that one?
He's not a main character. You don't need to. He's like the shop owner. The other three have main roles in the story.
So you just Sharon.
Come and buy something.
I think they actually do have him say Sharon at some point, if I remember.
That's funny.
But yeah, it's actually really cool. There's at one point the game kind of takes this weird RTS turn that some people weren't crazy about, but you can probably find this game for like $2 or $3, and it's really cool.
Yeah, I didn't hear about it when it came out, and then after the fact I heard about it, and it literally sounds like my dream game. So I went out and bought a copy on 360 because that's all I had at the time. Played it, beat it, loved it. Then I got a PS3. I bought it on there, played it, beat it, loved it again.
Nice. Nice, yeah. So Brutal Legend, if you haven't played it, a couple of bucks. It's definitely worth a playthrough. Also, Call of Duty Black Ops, so COD Blops.
COD Blops.
And he also grabbed the strategy guide for all the in-depth strategy that you need to make it
You
through.
can pwn some noobs.
Yup. That's actually chapter 12.
I literally
noobs.
heard a 10-year-old say that in the last week while playing that game on Xbox Live.
Oh man,
That's hilarious. I'm gonna pwn me some noobs.
Ponin. Oh man. So also Fable 2, which there's like 80% less poning in Fable 2 than COD Blops. Contra 3, which is all poning, but it's aliens instead of noobs. And one of his little hidden treasures in his first pickup there, no pun intended, Midway Arcade Treasures 3 for the original Xbox. A lot of really good little Midway games in there. San Francisco Rush, Hydro Thunder. Definitely a really cool little gem for the original Xbox.
And to keep the Xbox theme going, he also grabbed Halo and Halo 2. Everyone's got to have those on their Xbox, right? Even if you don't play them.
I hear the monks every time.
Yeah, they're. I mean, I think when you buy an Xbox and you don't buy them, they just show up in the mail.
I don't have Halo.
Really?
I don't have Halo.
I did.
Or Halo 2.
Have you ever?
I didn't
or
have
Halo
it
3.
for years, and then I got it in a lot, and I still have it sitting around here, I think.
Yeah, I didn't like Halo 2. I like Halo 1 and 3.
Everybody always said 2 was the good one.
No, I didn't like I don't play for multiplayer. The multiplayer in 2 is much more robust, but I play for the campaign, and I didn't think the campaign in 2 was good at all.
I tried playing a little bit. Not my thing.
Yeah, the only Halo I've got interest in is
everybody.
Halo Wars. I want to try
Yes, that was actually really cool.
I've got Reach just because it was free.
Yeah, I've got
Reach is good,
ODST
too.
because it was like $1.
I think I do have ODST also. I think somebody must have gave it to me. Anyway, on with the show.
Anyway, yeah, back to regular
Yeah,
Xbox.
you guys didn't donate $20.
Yeah, I know. Well, I can't talk about my stuff.
Grabbed WWF Raw 1 and 2.
It's Raw.
It's Raw.
I thought it was WWE.
Is it E? Did I write the wrong initial down in my notes here?
I think it used to be. Now
It depends on
I'm
what year
old
those
school.
games came out in.
I only talk about the WWF. E doesn't exist.
Oh, so we picked up the
So you got-
wildlife.
World Wildlife
Yeah,
Federation Fund.
the pandas
Raw.
on it there. Ninja Gaiden Black.
Oh yeah.
Star Wars Jedi Outcast, which I've heard is kind of neat.
That's a good game.
Grabbed by Ghoulies.
You guys play that?
Not yet.
I like that game a lot.
That was the rare game on the original Xbox, right?
Yeah.
That
Yep.
didn't
It was
do
one
well.
of the first. Yeah, it was one of the first Rare games that came out after Microsoft acquired Rare, which seemed like such an awesome move at the time, and they just didn't make any more good games. But I thought Grab by the Ghoulies was fun.
I've heard it's pretty decent. And
Good tanks
we
for
mentioned
that.
The Thing earlier. Someone else grabbed it on PS2, but Techie grabbed it on Xbox here. Marvel Ultimate Alliance. It's
Ultimate.
Very, very fun game, especially if you can find a few
yeah, I was
people
gonna say
to
it's
play
fun with
you.
some buddies. I found it really monotonous by myself though.
Oh yeah, yeah. It's imagine like a superhero dungeon crawler, but it's if you can find a couple of people, it's actually really fun.
So let me ask: does the Marvel Ultimate Alliance go and fight the MK Deadly Alliance?
No, that would be a crossover that Israel would pay for in a minute.
Yeah, only DC does that, not Marvel.
Oh, my fault.
Silent Hill 2 we grabbed. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2 Battle Nexus.
Do you have that one, Crab?
No. I do not.
Does it have the theme song? Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
I don't know. They
No?
keep messing around with that. I watched the new cartoon and it's like a rap song now. It's weird.
Oh.
But they've still got parts from the original in it to make it like semi-recognizable.
So it sounds like Heroes
wow,
in the Half
that's
Shell.
weird.
Yeah, they do that part, but then everything after that's like rap, and then they do that part again, and it's
How do you feel about the Super Mario Brothers Super Show theme rap?
Oh man!
Awesome.
Do the Mario.
yeah.
Yep.
Swing your arm from side to side. Come on, it's time to go do the Mario.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Great.
That's great.
Lou Albano like can't even be bothered to move.
Yeah.
He just got like twists and spin in place.
Oh man, this little plunger.
Oh, that's great. I'm gonna have Lou Albano dancing in my head all night.
Lucky,
Do the Mario.
lucky you.
I think it's not even a dance. Swing your
Yeah,
arm
it's just
from
him like
side to
standing in
side.
front of a green screen while they flash Mario images behind him.
So good. It's so good.
All right, where were we? Turtles. You got Doom
Yep,
3.
Doom 3.
Now Blackstone. Have you guys played that one?
Mm-mm.
I've not.
I haven't either, but the cover art looks really cool and really not Xboxy to me. It looks more like a weird PlayStation role playing game. I kind of want to look into that, see what it is.
Sounds creepy.
Yeah. And speaking of creepy, you got Evil Dead and Curse of Isis.
I never heard of that one.
Me
Curse
neither.
of Isis.
And it definitely looks like some kind of horror game.
Interesting. So he picked up some stuff for some other systems too, though, right? So what did he get after the Xbox stuff?
Yeah, something more around Duke's era.
No, yeah, thanks. I don't think there was any pegs and rocks in his small scores thread. Are you guys still there?
I'm still laughing. Yeah.
So was the 2600 the main system when you were growing up, Duke?
When I was little, yes, we had a 2600, and that was the main game we played. Yes.
Was Donkey Kong one of the games you
Yes,
played?
Donkey Kong was. But it was like I had the original Donkey Kong release, not that re-release cart that he's got.
Gotcha.
That
Mine was the
garbage.
official like Coleco.
Oh, so you're saying you like Donkey Kong before it went?
That's right. Completely old school. Yeah, Donkey Kong on the 2600 is horrible.
Really?
But it's I played it to death, don't get me wrong. It's all I had, but it's not good. Like Donkey Kong is purple.
So similar to Pac-Man, like where the game is actually broken, or it plays but it's just not fun.
No, now if you played it, you would go, okay, this is Donkey Kong. It's just the graphics are just not very good. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So it's got like two screens. I mean, you got like the regular one, then you have like the girder screen, and then they just repeat. Yeah,
Oh, so you beat the game?
you don't. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Yeah, so you solved it.
Yeah.
Now, what do you think you need 2 Game Boy Game Sharks for?
You can stack them.
Yup, that's the correct answer.
Twice as many cheats.
Yep. What happens if you do unlimited lives on 2 stacked Game Boys? Does it like fry the
double
system?
I think
God mode.
the universe implodes if you try that. So don't.
Now, what about the Atari 800? I've never had one. I've seen the carts, but I've never seen the actual system out in my hunting.
That is a Atari computer where it's got like one of those membrane keyboards that you can use, and then it's got like a thing that flips up and you can put cartridges into it.
Now, was Pac-Man any better on that system, or was it still pretty bad?
Can't say. I didn't have an Atari 800. I had a Texas Instruments way back when. So that was my first computer. Texas Instruments, which Techie got some carts for, which we'll talk about later, but it was weird days. You know, everybody thought PCs were the new thing, right? The crash happened. Everybody was going to get computers. Nobody was going to play consoles anymore. So, like, there was just all these different kinds of system out there, and, you know, maybe we'll talk about more on another day, but I didn't have an Atari 800.
And to jump back into the modern world again, he grabbed some more 360 stuff. Blazing Angels. You like that one, Bill? You were like in the flying games.
You know what, I was, and I don't remember ever getting into Blazing. Like, it's kind of a similar thing to what happened to me with you know, as far back as Dreamcast with Air Force Delta. I really tend to lean towards air combat where, and it sounds really silly to say it this way, but where the ships are not as fast moving as, like, you know, like Harrier jets or like F-14s or something like that, because I feel like the ships are so fast that when you're like coming towards each other, when you're trying to like chase somebody, I really like that kind of slow paced like Crimson Skies, like biplane type combat. So Blazing Angels is kind of like, I think, like World War II era.
I think so.
So but yeah, I never got into any of the World War II fighters. It's probably a good game. I know a lot of people who
So
like
you played
it.
Snoopy versus Red Baron. I've heard that's a really good one.
Yes, I have. It's really good.
All right. What else you got? Star Wars Force Unleashed, Battlefield, Bad Company.
I've heard good things, and I still haven't
My
played
brother loves that game.
it. Yeah, I've heard from like everyone who's played it tells me like it's a lot better than you would think that it is. And why do you think you would buy this next game?
Just Cause
Just
2?
Cause 2?
Just cause.
Wah wah.
We totally missed that one. Yeah, you set us up.
I
Sorry,
did.
foul ball.
And no one got it.
That's all right. Nobody's listening at this point in the show anyway.
Yeah, that's okay. Yeah, at this point, it's just for the next $30 donor.
It's more WWF, I'm going to call it again. SmackDown versus Raw, 2008.
2008, buddy. Oh, yeah.
Rest in peace, Randy.
Everybody misses you, Macho Man. Whatever happened to Elizabeth? Remember Sweet Elizabeth?
I think he was married to her.
Yeah, I mean, like Macho Man and Sweet Elizabeth.
No, I mean, like, I think he was married to her.
Oh, in real life?
When he passed, yeah. I think.
Oh.
I could be wrong, but let's have our crack investigative team figure that one out, too.
Oh, yeah.
No, okay, now it just sounds like you're doing the Kool-Aid guy.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, there is a
Oh, look at
difference.
that.
Yeah, I heard it.
There's the difference. You're right.
That's right. There is a difference. And I'm got to bust through a wall now.
Now, whatever happened with the Kane and Lynch movie? Did that ever happen?
Oh, they were making a movie? I wasn't even aware.
You didn't hear
Nope.
about this? Dude, and you know who's going to be Kane Lynch? It was going to be Bruce Willis and Billy Bob Thornton.
Yeah, it's not the worst casting ever.
Right. I remember because one of them was like a tough guy and one's like the skinny, you know, but I remember news for this for a while. And then the last thing I heard was that Jamie Foxx was going to be in it.
Oh, no.
And then it disappeared. Then I never saw anything again. But the Kane and Lynch games, I've never played them. You guys ever play them?
No.
No, but I would think I would watch Bruce Willis and Billy Bob. Yeah.
Yeah, I would.
Hey, there's a new Die
Be
Hard
good.
coming out.
Yeah. I'm
Yeah.
still like 2 diehards behind. I need to start watching them again.
I'm going to take your man
You haven't
card.
seen 3 or 4?
No.
They're both good.
Oh, man. What are you doing?
Oh yeah, they're good.
I think that was required. The man, like, fights on a jet.
Doesn't matter. No, he doesn't. Come on. Just stop breaking the whole movie for him.
Okay, I won't ruin it.
They're really good. We should totally watch them like over Skype.
All right.
So he gets then Dynasty Warriors 6, right? Have you played any of these Dynasty Warrior games?
Yep.
I watched a friend play one for a little while, and I feel like I understand the concept of the game and why it's appealing. Again, just not something that personally clicks with me, but I totally get why people like it.
It's like a dungeon crawler, except for instead of like you kill little bad guys and grab your loot, it's just like endless hordes of bad guys. It's fun if you play like a lot of other games we mentioned with another person.
Hey, Bill. Who are you going to call?
Ghostbusters!
Right.
Home run on that one.
See?
Hey,
That's what happens.
We can do a
That's what happens
segue.
when you're paying attention to the setup.
Hit that one out of the park. And then there's Red Dead Redemption.
I love this game. Love.
Never played it.
Not a fan.
Love.
I heard it was Cowboy
Love.
GTA, right?
Nope. Love. And everyone, I always hear the same complaints about it. Oh, it's too boring in Mexico. You stay in Mexico too long. I don't care. Love this game from front to back.
I'll take your word for it.
Love.
So then he got Red Dead Redemption's cousin, right? Grand Theft Auto 4?
Yes. Grandfather, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, Grand Theft 4.
I did not
You guys
like
like any
one.
of the GTAs?
I did not like that game at all.
I liked
hated
1 and
GTA
2.
4.
Those are the only ones I like.
Yep.
3 was fun.
God, that's the theme for this month. Like, there's a lot of games that I know are popular, but don't click with me. Grand Theft Auto and me are not a match. Like, I don't like any of the Grand Theft Auto games.
3 and Vice City were kind of fun. But 4. Ooh.
Yeah, 4 is
I don't want to have to like babysit my girlfriend in a game. That's not fun.
God, and I can't I don't want to get into it, but I could not believe the first review I read for that was a 10.
The thing I can't figure out is how on earth by now they haven't figured out how to make checkpoints in missions. Every time you die, all the way back to the beginning. No thanks. I'm done.
That's old school.
So yeah.
Yeah, no, it's okay.
I'd be curious to know if Techie's a fan. I'd love to hear comments on anybody who does like the game and what they like about it. Being kind of, the staple that it is in so many collections. But also grabbed Resident Evil 5.
I like that one.
Did you?
I did. I like that one.
I heard it was very good co-op.
Yeah, it is. That's the way to play it. Don't play it by yourself. Play co-op.
Seems to be a theme here.
Yeah, right. What about Destroy All Humans? You play
No
that?
clue.
I played the older ones, not the 360 one.
Same thing. Like, I played like the older in the series. I haven't played the 360 one.
Like Reverse Space
about
Invaders, right?
Exactly. Yeah. What about Too Human?
I have it, but I've never put it in.
Yeah, Too Human. I remember playing a demo, and I don't know, it just didn't click with me.
I heard everybody just dog on it so badly. I just I've never tried it.
Do you ever get that where everyone like is so down on a game, you're like, whatever, everyone, I'm trying this game.
I did that with one game recently, Two Worlds. Yeah, everyone was right.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you will run into everyone's right, but it's I feel like obligated to try a game before I pass judgment on it. Like, you know what I mean? So I like sometimes if I tell a game's really bad, I won't bother with it. But there's certain times that I'm like, I feel like maybe everyone's just not seeing the magic that I can see.
Yep.
Hey, Bill, why don't you go see if you can find the magic in Superman 64 for me?
There is no magic.
The magic is the rings.
Because that's what Superman does, flies through rings.
Yep.
Now he also picked up Assassin's Creed and Assassin's Creed 2, right?
Love Assassin's Creed 2.
And then the Duke Nukem Balls of Steel guidebook. That goes with Duke Nukem.
I didn't know there was a Balls of Steel addition to that guide.
There was like a whole. I think that was the collector's edition. Was the Balls of Steel?
Oh, gotcha.
Edition. Came like in a big box, which doesn't make any sense if it's Balls of Steel, but
Yeah. Should have come in a big ball.
there you go. Not easy to put on shelves.
Or 2 big balls.
And now we can finally turn away from the 360 for a minute, right? Woo-hoo. Let's get back some cartridges.
Yeah.
So some GBA, right?
Yeah, I guess so. We'll
If you
settle
say
for
so.
You got some
GBA.
complete GBA games. You got some complete GBA games.
Yeah, complete's always nice. They look great.
Yeah, Backyard Baseball.
Yeah.
Never played it, but I'm sure it's baseball.
I'm sure that it is baseball. I'm sure that it's not a racing game.
Some Tony Hawk's
That's all I got to say about that.
American Wasteland. I love the
Yeah,
Tony
sure.
Hawk games, but
Super-
I'm not sure how well they translate to the Game Boy. I've never tried any of the portable versions.
I think they're isometric, so they play slightly similar to like the
Yeah,
skater
Ooh,
die
yeah.
I've seen
uh,
screens of them.
when you're in like a
So does
park.
it say?
Yeah.
Does it have the other being skate or die?
Or die.
Die.
Did I ever tell you guys that I work with the Skater Die shop
you
owner?
Did. Yes, you did. We never saw the
You mean
pic,
he had,
though. We
like-
never saw the picture.
Oh, I gotta ask him.
The green mohawk?
He shaved his mohawk off to apply for jobs, but he's grown his hair back and dyed it again. It's just not a mohawk at the moment. But I'll bet you he'll let me take a picture. And this is the same guy that I was saying plays Warhammer and made stinky comments about.
So every time you see him, you just skate or die.
Is he always trying to sell you like trucks and wheels?
No, he just hits me with those joust sticks in the face every time I try and say anything.
He also got Super Mario 3 for the GBA, right?
Always good.
Midnight Club. That's a driving game, right?
Yeah.
You drive?
Yeah, no, I think no, it's baseball. It's
Okay. Works for
a
me.
baseball game.
And then we got a complete in box GBA SP.
Mm-hmm.
And
Whole stack of manuals there.
big bunch.
All the GBA.
And
Yeah.
And then I'm kind of curious. Krabby, how would you spell magnifier?
Not like that. What idiot would write it like that?
Yes, he got a GBA case and a magnifier.
Right. Well, just so we're not laughing at something no one else can see, whoever wrote magnifier in the show notes spelled it MAGNIFYR or YER.
Yeah, that's funny.
Magnifier.
Who would do that?
That's funny. You gotta have a laugh.
It was like 2 hours of writing out small scores. Give me a break. I made one spelling error.
So far. Wait till we get to Barker Bill's trick shotting.
Yeah, speaking of NES games.
Oh, I
get
did
some
write that
good
too. Man, I thought he was
NES
joking.
games.
Nope, that's reality.
Oh boy.
So yeah, and NES. So So wait, is that? Did he get a stadium events?
Next best
got-
thing.
He got the alternate cover version.
He had the stadium events variant.
Yes.
The world class track meet title screen
Nice
version.
score.
Now, it's funny. A friend of mine, I was showing him that NES music app that you showed me,
Oh,
dude.
great, yeah.
And I was showing it to him, and I said, look how cool it says. Name an NES game. And of all the NES games anybody can name, he says Karnov. So I downloaded the Karnov soundtrack and we listened to it, and he's like, "Yep, that's
No,
Karnov."
you like
after
Karnov?
Techie posted this too, there's like 3 people that were like, Karnov rocks. Karnov's a hidden gem. And I'm like, when did this happen?
I like Karnov.
I don't mind it, but when did it become like this thing that people, like there's a little following for it?
There's probably like an
Yeah.
angry video game nerd movie or something about it.
Rutro.
And then you got Batman. People do like
Batman's
Batman.
awesome.
Yes.
That's
That's
a
a
good
good
game.
soundtrack
That's a
too.
good game.
You should have downloaded that one.
Mm-hmm.
Already had it. I was trying to show him like how to download a new
Okay.
game.
Understandable then.
And you got Zelda 2.
The magical
Zelda.
gold
Awesome
one.
soundtrack.
And
Yeah, gold, round seal, yep.
Rampage. I like Rampage.
Rampage is fun.
game.
Very fun game.
Little Nemo, the Dream Master.
That's an awesome game. Love it. Love it.
Paperboy. I like Paperboy.
Paperboy's
It's
fun.
I
Kind
like
of classic
Paperboy.
game.
Contra. Nothing much to really say there, right? If you
So
haven't
great.
played Contra,
Yeah.
you're not alive.
Yeah.
NES.
That's how they figure out if you're like an illegal alien.
Is that it?
They put a copy and they sit and watch you play it, and if like you die within the first 5 or 10 seconds, they're like, this person's never lived.
Just
in this
imagine them
don't-
taking notes. Oh, didn't put in the Konami code. That's a strike against.
Yep. Yeah, the customs guy has the whole checklist of things you do. He didn't even go after the spread shot. No, jail.
Se habla Contra, senor.
See,
He also got NES Open Golf.
what's your favorite NES golf game?
Open golf.
Is
I
it
think
really?
it might be. Yeah, I've played it about half a dozen other ones, and they're really bad.
They're all bad.
Golf. This one's at least
I
playable.
would just go with golf. I would just go with golf.
I think golf is
I
cool.
like
It's
NES
okay.
Open.
Okay.
No love for Jack Nicklaus?
No, I tried to play that a couple days ago. It's horrible. So is Bandai Golf and Atlas Golf. I guess it's not called Atlas Golf. Golf Grand Slam.
Mm-hmm. Well, he also got Supercars. Man, if you're gonna name a game, that's just a good name, and it's Supercars.
I don't have that one yet either.
No mistaking what that is.
How do you can't really like? How do you get better than that?
Ultra Cars, man.
I don't know if you can. Ultra, yeah, exactly.
Wow, I didn't see that one coming.
Set me up for
He
it.
also got tennis, right?
Yep.
Yes.
Yes. With nothing else
With
to
the
say.
manual.
With the manual. He got Tecmo Baseball, yes.
With the manual.
With the and he got Legendary
manual.
Wings, yes.
With the manual.
With the manual, but that manual might not be staying with him too long. Spoiler alert.
Oh. And then Hoops
With the manual.
and Jack Nicklaus
Oh,
Golf.
boo. Boo.
With the manual.
Wrath of the Black Manta.
Ooh, Ninja with the manual.
King's Knight.
No manual.
Wah, wah. Adventure Island.
Good cart. No manual.
Oh, Millen's Secret Castle.
My brother loves this game.
I always called it
like
Mylon.
it.
Like a pylon.
I always did too.
Really?
Yeah, it sounds like you're saying melon.
Well, yeah,
like,
because
you know,
Millen.
like
there's
Cantaloupe,
not
Secret Castle.
two L's. It's like vowel consonant vowel. So Mylon.
Oh, you think it's Mylons?
I think so.
I always just said Millens.
I don't hold it against you.
I like Millen better than Mylon.
Sounds like melon.
It
Though.
sounds like a moron.
Well, I like Mylon. You can like Millen.
Okay. He's the Millen Man. It's Millen time. Daydreaming
That I can
Davy
get
is
behind.
next, right?
Yep. And
And
no
Stinger.
manual. Manual again.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, Stinger's a good one, and especially it's one of the NES games that's not terribly hard to find the cart, but you don't seem to see the box very often. So the fact that all he needs is the box is kind of cool.
Yeah. And he got Barker Bill's trick shotting, right?
Trick shotting.
He did.
He's a shot putter.
and Skull and Crossbones. Nothing to do with George W. Bush at all in that game.
No,
Nope.
I totally
Zero.
didn't get that reference. Am I missing something?
Yeah. It was in the Skull and Bones. Never mind.
Yeah, he was in that the movie.
It's a
with,
fraternity thing.
Yeah, he was in that movie with Pacey from Dawson's
There
Creek.
you go. And then TMNT, The Manhattan Project.
That's got some sweet art on it. I love it.
And I'm waiting for the...
With the manual. That's the only Ninja Turtles game that I don't have CIB.
You got Tournament
on
Fighters?
on the NES.
CIB?
No, I wasn't counting that.
It's a Turtles game.
No, it's not. it's a Street Fighter game. You know, because Blanca's in it.
The head biting.
Yep.
All right. Then you got just some manuals, right? Just some manuals.
Just some manuals. Ice hockey, kung fu, golf, which is the best golf game. Top Gun, Star Soldier, Monopoly, and you get a whole bunch of dust sleeves, which are always good to have spares.
Always. Very good. Now, out of all the things he picked up, this is the one to me that kind of stood out. He picked up a PAL PS1.
It looks exactly the same.
Well, yeah. I mean, but how does he come across? How do you come across a PAL PS1? How do you know it's a PAL PS1 unless somebody tells you? I mean, I'm probably like the model number or something, right?
That's got to be what it is. Yeah, I mean, it's got to say on the tech because looking at it in this picture, there's nothing that distinguishes.
Maybe
it
he tried to
me.
play it. Does it come up with a message saying you're wrong region?
It just wouldn't work on your TV unless you had a
Oh yeah, I
TV
guess.
that could decipher PAL. So, interesting. And then he got some Genesis games, right?
Yep, Toe Jam and Earl. I never played this one. The Panic on Funkotron.
That was the sequel. I haven't played that one either.
Yeah, I played the first one, not that one. Super WrestleMania, all the 16-bit wrestling games. That was kind of... I was never really into wrestling, but that was the time that I would watch wrestling from time to time. So I really do enjoy all the 16-bit era wrestling games.
Now, how would you spell WrestleMania? If you had to spell it.
That was Duke this time, not me.
WRESLE Mania. WrestleMania. Oh, that is so the French spelling. WrestleMania. And then he's also got a Revolution X for the Genesis. I actually, believe it or not, I've been thinking about this game lately. If you've seen my posts on the threads, there's a guy locally selling an arcade cabinet that I'm probably not going to be able to get. But I decided to fire up Revolution X on the PlayStation today, and it is way worse than I remember it. I really thought it was going to be great, and I called my wife in the room and everything, and she's looking at me like, "Are you kidding me?"
Are you ready to
so
party with
bad.
Steve Tyler? Oh yeah.
That's what all I wanted to do was get to the club so I could show her like Aerosmith performing, and then you go backstage and Steven's like, "It's all up to you now." And I got that far, and it was like, oh, it was so anticlimactic.
So not worth it. Yeah.
No, it wasn't. I'm still going to keep it though because it's awesomely bad.
There you go.
And Cosmic Spacehead and Whack-A-Critter, Codemasters. Well, Cosmic Spacehead is a Codemaster card, but I'm not familiar with these
Now,
cards.
Whack-A-Critter had a special controller that you could get for the Genesis, and it's a whack-a-mole game.
Oh,
and you
cool.
have like this giant whack-a-mole pad that you would hit, and of course it corresponded with the game on screen. Really wacky. Get it?
Get it?
Wacky.
I bet you didn't mean that until it happened.
Completely accidental. And then he just got some other like manuals kind of thrown in there too, right?
Battle for Naboo.
Yeah, Battle
That's a
for
fun one.
Naboo. Yeah, Excitebike 64, and then a bunch of NES manuals. So Yoshi's Cookie, Wizard and Warriors 2, Iron Sword, which, Crab, isn't that one of your favorite
I'm
cover
seriously
arts?
not even joking, considering blowing it up into a poster for my game room.
Nice. And then POW, which I am seriously considering blowing up and putting in my game room. Only with my face, and then the face of one lucky other person on
There
there.
you go. Put your wife on there with you.
To our next
Yeah.
$50
Track
donor.
and Field. Yeah, right. Track and Field 2 manual. Also a Cliffhanger for the Super Nintendo. I have the Sega CD version of Cliffhanger, but that's the only one I've seen.
The NES also.
I don't have that one.
That's a pretty tricky one to find, I think.
Yeah.
Is it with the box?
Yeah,
and
it's
everything?
it's kind of an uncommon cart, but the box and manual I think are even harder.
No fun for Bill.
Nope, I don't even have that cart yet. Yeah.
Really?
Nan and a
Ooh,
boo boo.
so
Oh yeah. Well,
I
I've got a
gotta,
few you don't have there, Mr. Nana Nana Boo Boo.
I will trade you Cliffhanger for Stadium Events.
Done.
deal.
You heard it here. It's a verbal contract, people.
Legal. Yep.
Okay, up next, we get into some PS2 games for Techie. He got Spider-Man. Spider-Man does whatever a spider can, right?
How does the
I was watching The Simpsons for the first time in a long time today, and Spider Pig
Oh yeah.
is in the opening credits. And I don't know if that's new or how long that's been going on, but made me chuckle.
So how's the Ghost Rider theme go?
Ghost Rider? Ghost Rider does whatever a Ghost Rider does. Writes stuff.
Sets the town on fire.
Nicolas Cage. That's how
Stars in a movie with Sam Elliott.
And then Jaws Unleashed. There's no theme song. Don't even ask.
Oh, it totally has a
Oh,
theme song. Come on.
Whoa.
Dun,
Whoa.
dun,
There you go. There you go.
Dun.
Like like the most iconic song ever.
I've actually heard that game's
No
pretty cool.
lyrics,
I wanna try it out. You're supposed to like play as the shark instead of you gotta like eat people, and it looks really interesting.
That's kind of funny.
There's a shop owner with a green mohawk that you can buy like additional shark food from to grow into a bigger shark.
Eat or die.
Stock a family up the eastern seaboard.
Okay, we're getting a little slap happy here, people. It's late. Then we got Castlevania Lament of Innocence.
One of my favorite.
No, it's a lament.
That is one of
It
my
is, it's
favorite
Lament.
Castlevanias. It's awesome. It's
Um,
probably my second favorite.
I've played it. It's okay.
What do you think of the soundtrack? I really like the soundtrack in it too.
Castlevania is known for really fantastic soundtracks overall.
The
Yes,
old
it is.
era, yeah, but not so much in modern times.
You know,
I
I
think
think they're all
Symphony
good,
had some really
bro.
good music.
No, I mean like after that. I mean like PS2, Xbox 360.
even the N64 one wasn't that bad.
It wasn't memorable though.
No, but it was pretty good for N64.
Oh,
we got him started. Next, Dead to Rights. I have no idea anything about Dead to Rights.
I've actually played through that once. I had some friends.
Well, tell me about it.
Yeah,
Is that the Namco
I
game?
don't know who made it. It's got like the bullet time, like the Max Payne kind of thing.
Oh.
I remember playing through it with friends though, and we'd spent like 3 weekends in a row getting to the end of this game, and then we killed the last boss, and we're all sitting there watching it, and my stupid friend that had the controller pushed start and skipped the last cutscene.
So you don't know how the story resolved itself?
No clue. I don't really remember much about the
want me to
story
break it
though.
down for
Anyway,
you?
to tell you the truth.
Good guy kills bad guy. The end. Gets girl. Okay, I guess that wrap up was that good.
Sorry,
Yep.
were you
And then
talking
did
to
you
me?
play
I
Silent
jumped
Hill
out there
4?
for like 2 seconds.
Oh, yes, I was talking to you. That's okay.
Well, he says good guy wins, and then Silent Hill 4.
Silent Hill 4 is the worst Silent Hill ever.
Is that the room? Which
That's
one's
the room. That's the room. Yeah.
That's the room, yeah.
I
I've heard
tried.
about
I
that
tried
one.
so hard. Last summer, or maybe 2 summers ago, I tried to play through all of the Silent Hills that I had, and I was having so much fun with them until I hit 4, and I tried really hard to play it, and I just couldn't stand it.
Krabby, did you get really far?
It's probably like 7 or 8 hours.
So you tried so hard and got so far,
But in the end,
it didn't even matter?
I'm missing something. I think you guys are making fun of me, but I don't get it.
It's okay. I don't know if you have our kind of music up there.
No,
there's this band.
just yodeling and horn sounds up here.
So just the Ricola guy all the time. Is there a Ricola station?
24 hours.
Now, getting back into some more random things, he got a Mario plush toy, so that's always kind of cool to see.
Little Hogan's Alley there.
And then Hogan's Alley, yeah, really great. Harry Potter for the PlayStation. Never played it.
That was actually a really super popular
Was it?
game. I remember like working retail when that came out, and I couldn't believe how many people bought that thing.
Pottermania, huh?
Yep.
And then Vindicators, the Tiger handheld. I'm going to venture a guess, not wonderful.
I'm actually a little jealous. I used to have some Tiger handhelds when I was a kid. I'd love to pick one up again.
Yeah, I really want the Double Dragon if I can find it. That's the one I had when I was a
I
kid.
got like 3 or 4
We had like
of those
Sonic
things,
and Street Fighter, and I can't even remember. We had a couple more.
We've got Sonic 2 and like a Turtles one. I don't remember all of them.
How badly do you want your Turtles one? Maybe we can work something out.
don't want it at all.
Yes.
So
Put it right next to that was it Thunderbird's cart you got?
Thunderbird's cart. If I run across it, you can have it, man.
Nice.
Now you got a Super Nintendo pad, and then, okay, this one's for me, Shinobi for the Game Gear. Shinobi for Game Gear is great. Have you guys played it?
If you say so. I haven't played the Game Gear
It is
version.
really, really good.
Comparable
You
to
like,
the Genesis ones?
No, it's not like that. You get,
So it's it's a different game.
yeah, you start out, and you're one ninja, like you're like the red ninja, and you can pick like which stage you go to. So you're gonna do them in different orders, and at the end of each level, you fight like your possessed buddies, and then you free them, and then they will come and join you, and you can switch between them. Each ninja has special powers. So like one of them can walk on water, one of them can jump really high. I think one of them's like can like swing from things. And so like later on, you have to use the right ninja to get past the correct parts with the special powers. So it's good.
Yeah, it kind of sounds like Trine.
I was going to say Ninja Mega Man.
I would say, Krabby, this would definitely be a game up your alley.
It sounds like fun, and I do like Shinobi. And they have some great music too.
It's dirt cheap. You should play it.
I don't have a Game Gear.
Shinobi 3 soundtrack is
You don't
one
have
of my favorites.
I have a Game Gear.
My stack's going to be too big. Those things alone are going to double my shipping costs. They're huge.
So another throwback now. See, like I said before, my first computer was a Texas Instruments. It was the TI-99 4A. That's important. And so we got a couple carts for that. He got The Attack, Jawbreaker 2, and Hopper, all of which I've never played. Never had those as a kid. But
Me neither, because I'm as old as I am.
yes,
Yeah.
you're not all ancient like I am.
TIs, when I was a kid, were calculators, not computers.
Yeah,
Yes,
me too.
they made calculators back then too, but he also got a couple games for the Atari 5200, right?
He's got one that I've never heard of.
I don't think I've heard of that one either.
Mistly Command.
If you can see the comments there, that means Duke wrote that one too.
Oh, okay. So Super Breakout, Pac-Man, Mistly Command, and Defender. And then we were actually speaking about this earlier. He got a Best of the Super Mario Brothers Super Show DVD.
Do the Mario.
Oh, last 2 Nintendo Powers. You got
One
a couple
to read,
of
one
them.
to keep sealed.
Exactly. That's how we do. The Kiss Hot Wheels. You guys play that?
No.
It's an actual Hot Wheel. I've not played with that Hot Wheel.
You haven't played
Dude
with Hot
just
Wheels?
bought
That
like
one.
6 Hot Wheels. He's ready.
I did. Not that one. I haven't played with the Kiss Hot Wheel. Now,
And then, go
I
ahead.
was going to say we can move on to GameCube.
Yeah, he picked up that complete box system, the one that came bundled with Mario Party 7 and an extra controller in it.
Rock and roll.
It's a big pack to get. It's awesome.
He got the Rapid Fire Mega Fire Sega Genesis pad
Like it.
and the Time Crisis with the Gun Con controller.
Need that? Yeah.
Yeah, Gun-Con's one of my favorite home light guns.
Yeah, pretty cool. And then, last but not least, let's bow our heads in a moment of silence. He got the comic book where Spider-Man...
Spoiler alert. There was such a short amount of time from spoiler alert
I hate to break it to you, Bill.
to Dead Spider-Man.
No one has survived this long into small scores. There's maybe like one person, Techie.
Yeah.
And he already read it.
He's like, I waited for this so long. Yeah, no, Dead Spider-Man, which obviously Spider-Man's going to go on, but hopefully it won't be Peter Parker. At least I hope they don't try to resurrect
Now,
him.
let me ask you
like
a question. If you buy that comic book, you know he's dead, right? I mean, I didn't spoil anything for anybody.
Right. No, yeah, if you're a subscriber, if you're into it, or even like the day that comic came out, it was headlines on like Yahoo News, and then like it's actually would have been hard to avoid from any place.
Yep.
All right, so Techie, I'm sorry if I've spoiled it for you.
He's not going to get this for like another week or two.
He's a slow reader.
Spider-Man is dead, folks. I hate to break it to you. Long live Spider-Man.
Yeah, you can thank Turkey.
All right, and so that wraps us up for our donations. Thank you all very much.
Thank you very much.
We really appreciate it. We've had some fun kind of going through everything. And, boy, I hate to say this, but it's not too late, guys. You can still get in before the end of the month. I think the donation drives ends February 1st, so if you want to put us through this again,
Zegnarch, you have to spend another 20 to get us to do it. We're not doing it again next time.
Yeah. And I will say, keep your eyes and ears. I know I've mentioned this the last couple shows, but coming up very soon, maybe even by the time the show is out, there will be an opportunity for you to win an interview on the Collectorcast. Well, I won't say win. You can bid for it. But you'll see more information than that.
Yeah, there's no real winners in that situation.
All of us. Come on. We get to, But really...
you get to experience my awful segues firsthand.
There you go. And our wonderful misspellings. There you go. So we'll be looking forward to that on an upcoming episode. Now, we all got a few odds and ends, right? So, Krabby, did you get some stuff?
I did. I'll try and keep it brief since we spent enough time on small scores already. But I went Boxing Day shopping, which is a thing up here. And I ended up grabbing Dark Souls, brand new for $10, and The Witcher 2, brand new for $20 on the 360.
No, wait a minute. Boxing Day has...
You gotta let me know how you like Witcher 2.
Boxing Day has nothing to do with boxing?
Well, you do have to fight kind of like Black Friday mobs, so there's a little bit of that.
Oh, okay. Okay.
What else I got? I grabbed Death Smiles for $5. That's a cool one. And locally, I ended up picking up one of my most wanted, highest on my list, NES carts for a decent price. I paid $50 for a copy of Cowboy Kid.
Cowboy Kid.
Yeah.
Have you played that one yet?
No, I plan to very soon though.
It's not super easy. I played it a little while. I didn't try to beat it, but it's a little tricky.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. It was one of the last, there's a list I have of about half a dozen games that I need that are the priciest games, and that was one of them. So I'm really happy to cross it off, especially locally.
It's like ROM Star, isn't it? ROM Star?
Yeah, that's right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. They did Supercars too, right?
I don't know. I don't have
Or
that
am I
one
thinking
yet.
of somebody else? Maybe that's somebody else. I don't know. Sorry to interrupt. Go
That's
ahead.
right. And then I got a few more NES scores, all from members of RF Gen. So thanks to Bill for my mule and Blades of Steel Konami Classic series.
Blades of Steel.
Special thanks to Banana, who just sent me a gift out of the blue for no reason other than to be nice. He sent me Beetlejuice, Donkey Kong 3, Mechanized Attack, and Bill Elliott's NASCAR Racing, all 4 of which I needed.
Nice. Donkey Kong 3, very underrated.
Yeah, I just missed out on a Donkey Kong 3.
Fun game.
Yeah.
You get to spray Donkey Kong in the butt. And who doesn't like that?
And
So
yeah, and one more. I just wanted to give special thanks to Fleech, who was my Secret Santa partner, and gave me a wonderful gift that I posted about on the RF Gen Secret Santa thread. But a special thanks for those 4 NES carts you sent my way. I needed all of them, and I'm very happy to have them.
Excellent. Well, good deal. Bill.
Yeah, I should also, by the time this comes out, I'll have posted the blog article explaining how I matched everyone up in the Secret Santa, so it's no secret that it was no secret. So people were 1-to-1, so hopefully everyone's read the blog post. If you haven't, just look for it. And hopefully no one's too angry that it's not a secret. So that being said, Doug Lee was extremely kind, and all right, so yeah, so I mentioned, so he gave me 3, so Xenophobe, Deadly Towers, and Clax.
Clax.
So all
there's always time
all
for
complete.
Clax.
That
They're
cover
always-
creeps me out because
and
that hand looks just like it's broken.
Yeah, it looks like it's an emergency room game, and it also looks like it's written in chalk. So like whatever happened, it was like at a playground, and they had to use the kids' chalk for the outline. So yeah, so big thanks to Doug Lee. I hope he likes what I sent him. And also picked up that Club Nintendo 3DS case and started the whole trend going.
You're the man.
Very popular.
And then here's the bulk of my pickups now. Now, I had no idea this was gonna be the day we were recording, and how could anyone know that this would be the day that the NHL and the Players Association agree to a tentative deal? So every one of the rest of my games this month is a hockey game. I'm happy to say. So I picked up NHL Face-Off, the big box cardboard for PlayStation, and then the rest are all just the standard, the jewel cases. So NHL Face-Off 97, NHL Breakaway 98, and NHL Rock the Rink. Those were all from Retro Games in Westport for about like $2 or $3 each. And very recent, and just last night actually, I saw Retro Games post on their Facebook page. They got some games traded in, and a complete in-box copy of Hit the Ice for the TurboGrafx 16. So that just got delivered to me. A friend of mine who lives near the store delivered it last night at board game night. So my first TurboGrafx 16 game. Now I just need a TurboGrafx 16. And I got my whole hockey theme going this month. So I'm very happy with all these.
Rock and roll. Well, good deal.
No comment.
Yep. Oh, that's comment enough.
All right, well, to round out, I got some odds and ends this month. So I'm kind of trying to assemble together a PC Engine setup. So putting one of the things together kind of reminds me like the Sega Genesis Tower of Power. You know what I mean? Where you have to kind of like stack all the parts together. Like Transformers, like all the little ones would turn into a giant one.
So do you wear your Optimus mask?
Oh yeah, you better believe it. I say, Autobots, roll out. But I've picked up I already had the PC Engine, and I picked up the CD-ROM, and it's hard. I don't know how to pronounce this. It's like the CD-ROM squared is like the way it's written out.
Yeah,
so.
I'm not sure. I've never heard anyone say it out loud.
I read one place it's supposed to be spoken CD-ROM, but that doesn't make
No,
much sense.
really?
Yeah, we're doing that. That's the thing now.
That's gonna be the thing.
It's now
CD-ROM.
also the Odyssey.
There you go. And so I got that CD unit, and then I had to buy. There's a piece that mates the two together, so you have to get this thing called the interface unit. So this IFU30, you plug the PC Engine into it, and the CD-ROM into it, the ROM, and then you have the unit. Well,
Plug the FU into the
There you
ROM.
And then you also have to get a system card, which I've got on the way, and then a controller. So by the next show, I will have a fully assembled PC Engine CD setup.
Do you think it's going to be worth all the effort and money?
Yes, because I also got Ninja Gaiden over here, Ninja Ryukenden. So I've got that ready to play. I've put it in. I can't play it yet. I turned it on to watch the intro, but I'm really excited. I got that complete, and it looks really nice.
That's pretty cool.
I'm excited.
I can't wait to hear what you think about that.
Yeah. And just the other day, yesterday, wasn't it? Right? Yesterday, Bill?
I don't know what you're talking about yet.
When I was out yesterday and got you some stuff?
Yes, yeah. I didn't mention them because I was going to wait till I have them. But Duke was hunting yesterday, and I got a mystery text from him saying, "Hey, like, I might be seeing some of these games sometime soon. Any interest in these?"
Yeah. So I mean, we can save that for when Bill gets them. But I was out doing some hunting, so I found a couple things for Bill.
Yes, you did. Thank you very much.
And I found for myself I've been watching for Dragon Warrior 7 for like a long time. And I went into the store. They had like a ton of PS1 RPGs. That's why I sent a message to Bill. I'm like, hey.
Yeah, those are always on the list.
And the Dragon Warrior 7 they have is just pristine looking and just really very clean. And they only wanted $25 for it. So I was like, done deal. That's easy.
Was that the PS1 or PS2 Dragon Warrior?
PS1.
Okay.
PS1, yeah. 8 was on PS2.
Mm-hmm. So now I finally have every U.S. Dragon Warrior proper game for the series. Nice. I don't have the offshoots or anything, but that kind of completes that set. And then I got some stuff off Racket Boy. There was a person that was over there was selling some stuff with some odds and ends, and I was kind of happy to pick them up. I got this like weird Super Nintendo disc copier. It's this thing called Disc Interceptor, or should I say backup unit.
Don't say that. It's a bad word.
If you listened to the last show, you heard us talk about these. So I picked that up. I'm willing to kind of give it a shot and see what that's like. I picked up some books. There were some odds and ends, but the big highlights was another copy of the Nintendo Player's Guide, which I love that book. And she only wanted $2, or he only wanted $2 for it. And so I said, sure, yeah, easy, no problem. And I've got a couple of those like Nintendo guides. Got the Super Game Boy one, the like Top Secrets.
I love those kind of books. They're awesome. Yeah.
I got a couple of Japanese books about the Famicom. I can't read any of them, but I can look at the pictures. And I also picked up yesterday a copy of Buck Rogers for the Sega Genesis with like the really super thick manual, and it looks really nice and clean. So.
And didn't you pick up some Hot Wheels so you could play with Bill?
Yeah, I did play. I picked up some Hot Wheels. They have I think somebody else had posted a little while back about these on Small Scores, but Hot Wheels made an Atari 2600 set, or an Atari set of cars, 6 of them. So the local grocery store had them marked down half price. I picked those up as well. So I'm sure I probably missed a few things, but my oh my, we've been at this a long time. So I'm going to let it go at that. Yep. So again, thanks everybody for a big month, and we'll get on to the main topic next.
So as collectors, we've talked a great deal about some of the weird things that we do from time to time and the weird ideas we hold in our minds. I'm wondering if you guys have any rituals you do when you're going out hunting. Anything that you have to do, like every time you're going out there. Do you have to bring your lists with you? Do you have to like plan a route? Is it a big deal to go out, or do you just go out and wing it?
It depends on what kind of hunting I'm doing. I mean, I definitely have rituals and routines like for gaming and like when I'm actually gonna have a gaming session. But as far as the like the preparation and going out, the probably the most routine based thing we have is our local flea market that doesn't open until March. So we're kind of in the off season now, but it's every Sunday at 7 a.m. So that's kind of like every Sunday We wake up at 6 or however early we can. We go get coffee because that's how I can coax my wife to come with me. Is we'll go to Starbucks. Want to get a Starbucks? And she's like, okay, I want to go now. So we'll get a Starbucks and then we'll go. And afterwards, we either come home and we make like a really nice breakfast, and that's another reason she likes coming out with me. Or we'll like go out for pancakes or whatever. So we kind of like the game stuff is kind of like my thing, and like all the stuff surrounding the game stuff is like her thing.
You gotta bribe her to come along.
Exactly, yeah. I'm actually in the process of working out a ritual as far as pawn shops go. I've never really had any good luck with pawn shops, but Duke's given me some tips on how to find good pawn shops. So
go to the broke places.
Yep. Go to the places where people need that money.
You got
it. So I've actually scouted out a city that's less than an hour from me, like a small city. But I'm going to be going there and doing like a 10 or 15 pawn shop trip in like a week or two. So I'm sure I'll have a routine kind of planned out for that. But yeah, in general, it's my daily, multiple times a day checking Craigslist. And then when something pops, I just kind of improvise. And then there's my weekly flea market routine in the active season.
Yeah, now see, I just, most of the things that I hit regularly are literally on the way home, just depending on which route I take. So usually at least like one day a week, I'll go down one route where I can hit the retro store, the game exchange, and then I'll hit another route where I can go by the pawn shop that I usually frequent. Anything else is usually if I'm just out and about in that area, I know kind of located the stores and the areas that I tend to frequent, so I know which ones to hit. But I mean, I don't. I guess my ritual itself is just making sure, like at least like once a week, I go in, and they all pretty know me pretty well by now, so they'll let me know if something cool's coming up or behind the counter or whatever.
Well, I know I always have to check, like Duke or Bill mentioned there about Craigslist. I always check Kijiji like first thing when I wake up, when I have access to a computer. Like I see if anything new's been posted while I'm sleeping. And at least first before I go to bed, I gotta check it to see what I missed during the day. Sometimes in between, but always those two.
No, you reminded me of something, Crab. So that's my like regular routine, kind of like just around the house, like checking Craigslist and stuff. But every once in a while, whether it's for work or just for like a trip or something, like we have to travel. So do you have a pre-travel ritual where you scout out like the places you're going, their Craigslist or their Kijiji before you go, so you see what's going to be available when you get there?
I do. Glad I'm not the only one.
Yep. And then sometimes I forget to take it out of my phone, so then I get home and I'm like, why is it showing Washington, D.C.? Oh, yeah, because I changed the thing to that. So, but yeah, I don't know if you guys have mentioned that on one of the early shows when we were talking about places to collect, but never discount the possibility that the place you're going to might have some cool stuff. So it never hurts to check the Craigslist where you're going to be going.
Yeah, whenever we're in a new town, I always steal the nearest phone book and I bring it to the car, and then I punch in a whole bunch of places into the GPS to go check when we get the chance.
Now, will you ever call the stores first, or you would rather just go there and see what they got?
I like to go and wing it. We have like literally no game stores in town here, so even if it's a crappy game store, I have fun going there. It's like a novelty for me.
Yeah, I think if you're calling ahead of time and they know you're you, magically those prices will inflate when you get there, right?
What, the Wild Bill 52 is calling me? Everything plus 100%.
No, you know what I mean, though? Yeah. Like it's like when
totally
you go to the flea market and it's like the first thing you pick up is always way high because that's the thing that they think you want, right?
Yeah. Yeah. There was actually one time when I go to the flea market, I'm usually very, like kind of like low key. Like I'll just be kind of like flipping through like random stuff. I'll pick something up. So, whatever. I'll pick something up that I want. I'll put it back down. I'll keep looking around, as long as no one around me is, a risk for me to lose that thing. But yeah, and then one time I met a friend of mine there, and him and his girlfriend, and they were both just, having fun. They're naive. And I swear, like they picked up like a Super Nintendo, like a Toy Story cart for Super Nintendo. And she was like, "Oh my God, I love this game. Oh, Super Nintendo. Oh my God, I can't believe they had this." And I was like, I didn't say anything because like the guy's already there. So after we left that stand, and I think she got the game for like $3 or $4. So he didn't really take advantage of it too bad. Good. So after they walked away, I'm like, "Hey, listen, I applaud your enthusiasm. I'm very glad to be here with people who care about this stuff. But just as a buyer's tactic, let's just poker face. And they were like,
man.
oh yeah, no. So, but yeah, it's the only reason I mentioned is because like you guys, I think you guys mainly don't really have to drive 45 minutes away from your house. And I live in this really weird spot where there's like a couple play and trades locally, but they're pretty bad. And even my local pawn shops are pretty dry. So I usually have to go at least 45 minutes away to find something. So I'd never had call, but I was thinking, since I have to drive so far, if it would be worth it or not. But you do run that risk of someone knowing, okay, well, if this guy's, especially if you call and say, hey, I just don't want to drive 45 minutes if you don't have anything. And then the guy says, dude, this guy's driving 45 minutes for some video games. So yeah, he can probably get away with bringing that price up a bit.
What would you even ask them when you call them anyway?
I would probably say something like, hey, I was just wondering if you have any older like Nintendo, Genesis, Super, Nintendo games, anything like that. I'm in charge of making sure all the kids at the orphanage just have lots of fun with whatever you can help us with.
Right.
We'll pay you. We have a small budget, but we'll pay. We don't mind paying. No, I would never do anything like that, but I'm sure I've given a few people some ideas.
Oh, yeah. Orphans.
Yeah, do you have any Turbo Graphics?
Our little kids love
The kids
Turbo
love the
Graphics.
PC engine. Yeah.
The other thing is, I kind of feel like if you end up talking to somebody who has look at the Craigslist, some of the Craigslist postings you see, where it's like Sega Nintendo 64 3D. And it's like, so you're going to talk to a guy, hey, I'm looking for like original Nintendo games. Oh, yeah, we got those. And you get there, it really could be any video game in the universe. And
Right.
he just,
Yeah. He's got some Atari carts in the back or something.
Yep, that's happened to me before.
These for the Magic 5200. How you like that?
Yeah, I actually did. I found an Atari. What's the Atari 8-bit? Those little red carts. I found those at a Goodwill for like $3 once. Had no idea what they are, and ended up.
And you
selling.
left them, right?
No, you know what I did? I didn't want to like take out my phone and like look up value. I was like, you know what's $3? I got $3. I'm gonna roll the dice, and I think I just ended up like I posted them. And I think I can't remember what they were. Shadow actually told me what they were. And I threw him up in the forum. No one was really interested in him. And a buddy of mine, who's like an Atari dude out in St. Louis, I just sent him to him. I said, here, like, see if I don't know if you care for these or not, but enjoy. So he seemed to be pretty into them, so that was nice.
See, I get that same sort of thing. Like when I go to the pawn shop, like the guys in the pawn shop just know me and whatnot. And like when they get stuff, they'll like, oh man, look, I gotta show you this. You'll know what it is. And they'll just bring out the weirdest junk. I mean, like the last time I was there, I was looking, they had like a Lynx in like the official Lynx case with a few games, but it was a little high, so I passed. But they go, oh wait a minute, here, just hold on, I'm gonna show you this. So he brings out like an old Atari computer, like cassette drive that was just beat to crap and like nasty. Like he's like, oh, you remember this, don't you? I'm like, yeah, I do. I remember. It's pretty cool. And he's like, yeah. I said, well, you're going to have to eBay that thing if you want anything out of it. And he's like, yeah, we probably will. So, yeah, nobody's going to buy that in here. It's kind of funny that they just get so excited because they're like, oh, wait a minute. Somebody knows. Yeah, I don't know. Like I said, I guess my ritual is just going. Like, making sure I go once a week.
Do you guys just have, like Duke, you said you go on your way home from work. Yeah. Do you guys have any buddies who can go on a hunt with you on a regular basis, or just maybe once in a while?
For me, it's once in a while. I've got a friend that doesn't mind going out sometimes, but not a lot. So every once in a while, like maybe once or twice a year, we'll make a day of it and just run around like crazy.
I only know one guy who would even be interested in that, and we've never actually gone together, but I know he goes to some of the same places I do on off days, and we look for different things for each other. Because he's big into Super Nintendo. So if I find cool Super Nintendo stuff, I try and pass it along to him, whereas he does the NES stuff for me. And if he sees anything else he thinks I might be interested in, he always lets me know.
Yeah, but then you got competition, right?
That's why I'm glad he's into Super Nintendo.
Because I did that like last... Oh,
no, I was just going to say, Crab, have you... I think I've heard you say before that you and your wife will go garage sailing together?
Yep. Sometimes with my parents, too.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, you said your dad. I remember you saying that once that he keeps an eye out on stuff for you because he's looking for like boats or something.
Yeah, he's always looking for anything, just old antiques, old parts he can use to fix something up around the house. So he goes way more than I do, and he always gives me a call when he sees like a box full of game stuff. This is here for $20. Do you want me to grab it for you? You can pay me back later.
That's awesome.
Yeah, because he's hardcore. Like he'll get up early with the big crowd that moves from garage sale to garage sale all together. Keep bumping into those same people.
So he's the one that they're talking about on all those ads when they say no early birds.
No, he's not like that. He'll go when the ad says they can go. He plans out his route. When I go garage selling too, that's one of my rituals is to plan out my route so I can hit as many houses in whatever time I have. Because I used to go constantly and I'd spend like the whole day going right up until like 5 when people are like just want to get rid of that stuff. I found that was the best time to go because if anything was left, they don't want to take it back in the house. But since having a son, I can't spend that much time doing it. I got to take him with me most times, so I'll be lucky to get 2 hours out of it. So I really plan my routes now so I can hit, 20 garage sales in my 2 hours.
Wow. I don't even think there are 20 garage sales within, a drivable span of me to hit in one day.
Really? I don't live in a big city. It's just really popular up here to garage sale, I guess.
Yeah, it's maybe that'll change when when the season opens back up, and I think the most I've ever hit in one day is like maybe like 6 or 7.
You can like find that on one block here sometimes.
Yeah, well, that's the other thing is sometimes. Do you guys ever look out for like the neighborhood sales?
Yeah,
where, like,
those are the best. Yeah, you can hit a whole bunch all at once. They're great.
Yeah, those are cool.
Multi-family sales, they usually call them up here, and you can get 3 or 4 people all doing them together.
You guys ever heard of and don't laugh? It's called a junk in the trunk sale.
No.
Oh, sorry.
So I'd never heard of this thing either, and maybe it's only around here, but I was just driving on the way home from a flea market one day, and it said like junk in the trunk sale like right here, and it was like in a school parking lot. And so I pulled in the parking lot, and it's literally what it sounds like. You throw all your crap in the trunk of your car, like from your house, and you just pull into this parking lot, open up your trunk, and that's what you're selling. So you just walk from like car to car, looking at everyone's junk in their trunk.
Cool.
No, they do something similar here, but I guess they're a little classier. The schools will donate tables, and everyone will park their car and just unload their car into the table. It'll be like a community one.
Churches do that around here. Uh-huh.
Yeah.
I like that. I like when they do those fundraisers. Those are always good to go to.
Usually, yeah, they get the whole church community to all bring stuff, so you get a whole variety of things.
Guys, when you're like yard selling or whatever, will you guys like message that like when you see them on Craigslist, will you email the people before the sale starts and like ask them what they got?
I have before. I don't so much anymore. I just figure like if it's kind of like if I am planning on driving like say like this particular 8 to 15 mile circle like around the town or whatever, if it's like within a few minutes of that, I'll just stop by. But I used to email people, and the thing is most people won't get back to you. Some people will, but it's like, yeah, it just seemed to not be worth the hassle really. So as long as there's some word that equals video game in that post, I'll just swing by. Yeah,
my city's really not big enough to worry about that. There's nothing really I have to drive out of the way to get to, so if he doesn't have anything, there will at least be another garage sale nearby I can hit to, so I never bother with that.
Now when you guys are garage selling, do you always make sure to like if there is nothing there at the sale to ask the person like running it really loud if you know anybody else that's selling games?
Why loud?
Because invariably like some of those people that you talk about that just go to sale, they will have seen something somewhere, and they'll be like, "Oh, I think over this way you can find some," and you're like, "Cool, man."
Yeah, no, I never have. I've thought about I thought at first you were gonna say, would you, even if you don't see anything, instead of like walking back to your car and driving away, would you go up to the owner and say, "Hey, I didn't see anything, but I'm just curious if you have any,
He just screams out, "Where's all the games?"
No, you just like, you wait till you're like a couple tables away, and you just loudly kind of say, "Hey, I'm looking for some old Nintendo or Atari stuff. You have anything like that, or have you seen anything?" Half the time there'll be somebody else that'll be there like, "Oh yeah, I was at a sale," or like down the street, or.
No, I never thought of that. I've asked the owner plenty of times, but never thought to to be that guy. I've heard other people do that for other things.
Crowdsourcing, man.
Yeah,
It's
interesting.
crowdsourcing.
Well, let's try that out this year.
Yeah, who cares? Like, you're never going to see these people again, right?
I have to make a comment too before we get too far away about your old lady voice there. Have you guys ever played Baten Kaitos for the GameCube?
No.
No, I really, really love that game, but the voice acting in it is horrible. It sounds like people, just making up really crappy old lady voices like that. You just sounded just like a character from that game.
Yeah, I guess I've got a gig in being a voice actor now,
There
right?
you go. Next, I think that's a Namco Bandai game, so you can send your email over to them. I'm sure they'll hook you up with something.
I will send my demo tape right over.
You're reel to reel.
That's right. I'll make a mixtape.
He'll record it on that Atari cassette thing he was just talking about.
That's right. Oh man, no, it's good stuff. It's kind of fun to talk about some of that.
I just wish it was garage sale season again.
No, I know. It makes me miss it.
I posted something on Facebook of all places. I'm not really super active on Facebook, but I just threw something on Facebook like, I can't wait for it to be garage sale season so I can, and I said, like, video games are the best thing to collect. And then like 3 or 4 people were actually like, oh, like, you garage sale? Like, let me know. Like, I'll go with you. So I don't think they have most of any interest in Nintendo games, but, it'd just be cool to kind of, get in a car with a couple of people and just hang out for a day.
It's a lot nicer than, running around by yourself. Definitely.
As long as they're not into game collecting.
Yeah. And then there's a lot. Antiques have been big for a long time. So there's a lot of people who just, and especially like I'm finding like some of my younger cousins who like are like getting like their first like apartments and stuff like that. They look for like kind of like that old like rustic antique-y looking stuff just to like throw in the house because they think it looks cool, or just for like decor or things like that. So there's people who will go out to garage sales who don't care about games at all and just to keep you company.
I was gonna say half the time it seems like that's my mom, right? She just wants to go hang out and maybe look at some stuff. So she'll always, yeah, sure, let me know. She'll go along with me.
Yeah, it's kind of how my wife does it. My parents are looking for specific things. Like my mom likes to look for like exercise equipment or gardening tools and stuff like that. And my dad already said what he's looking for. I'm looking for games, and my son, he might grab a toy while we're there. But my wife just likes to go and hang out with everyone and she rarely picks anything up. And a few times she's picked something up to look at, and then she's dropped and broke it.
Oh no!
So now she's like afraid to touch anything when we go to these. It's funny.
And then she yells to everyone, "Get in the car, quick!"
Well, I know the one time we wanted to get a auto feeder for our dogs, and then she found one, and it was huge, so it was awesome. We wouldn't have to refill it very often. And she's like, "Oh, I'm totally buying this," and turns around and smashed it. And so, we looked for another 2 weeks for an auto feeder.
Oops. But you bought that broke one, didn't you?
No, they were really cool with it. I think we bought something else and like threw an extra couple bucks on there and said sorry.
Oh, that's awesome. That's pretty nice.
Yeah. So I think we've established pretty well that we're kind of odd as collectors, but I'm wondering if any of that spills over into your actual gaming time. Do you have weird rituals and little quirks that you enjoy your gaming or that prevent you from gaming?
Yeah, I think everyone does though.
Oh, so you don't think it's just unique to collectors?
Oh no, I was saying more like I think everyone who dedicates some time to playing games has those kinds of weird things. Like years ago. When I was, I don't know, like high school, like maybe like a freshman or something like that in high school, when Final Fantasy VIII came out, I remember, looking forward to that game and like setting up like weeks before it came out. Like I knew, okay, I'm going to this. And this is kind of before the days of midnight releases where like pretty much every game gets a midnight release. So I knew I had to get it like at, 9 or 10 a.m. at the store. I already had the food that I was going to eat that day. I was going to do pretzels and like a couple bags of pretzels and like a 2-liter of Coke because I'm a real health food nut. So and the reason I chose pretzels obviously is because they're not greasy, so you can just eat them and not like mess your controller up too bad. I also at the time had one of those Samsung 13-inch GX TVs with like the big speakers in it. Oh, so yeah. That's what I was planning on playing it on. Plus, I was all like the situation. Everything was all ready to go. So I got home. I put it in. The door is shut. The lights are off. The blinds are all closed. It's kind of like a little theater situation, and I was kind of just like locked myself away in that room, like no phone, no calls, like don't talk to me. Like I just wanted to kind of be in that experience for a while. I'm not nearly as hardcore. I don't know if you'd say hardcore or not, but I'm not that.
I wouldn't.
Yeah, I don't think that's hardcore. But I'm not
So-
that like insistent on like my gaming environments these days. As long as I can have like, I do find that I will not game if I can't put a while into it. I don't like sitting down in front of a TV or computer to game for like 5 or 10 minutes.
Yeah, I'm the
So
same way with that.
I thought you were going to tell me that you had this big elaborate plan and you sit down and you had like all this stuff stockpiled and then you started actually playing Final Fantasy VIII and then decided you had to do something else with your weekend.
Nope. I'm in the minority. I think it's the minority. I'm in the minority of people who enjoy that game. So
Either that or you spent all weekend just drawing some magic.
I came out with masterpieces after it was over. But no, I mean it's so for these days with my gaming ritual, it's as long as I have enough time, and with almost everything else in life these days, as you get older and your time becomes more valuable, and like then kids start to come in the picture and all the different responsibilities, so you really have to, set aside time. Even like for reading. Like a few days ago, I was thinking, man, I don't read as much as I used to. And then I realized I don't set aside time for reading. So I set aside an hour yesterday and today to read. And I was like, wow, I read a book. So for gaming, it's the same thing these days. Like, it's kind of like I'll be at work and I'll think, okay, I got to go home. I got to go to Target. I got to get some groceries. I got to go do this. I got to fix this thing at home. And then I got to go to bed at this time so I can play a game for like an hour and a half, 2 hours. And then I decide which game that's going to be. It's why I haven't played The Last Story yet, because I haven't found a block of time large enough to dedicate to. I really want to play that game for a long time. So I think my biggest ritual is probably finding the time.
Yeah, I remember doing like the same thing you did for Final Fantasy there for stuff like the Xeno Saga games when they came out. I remember when my wife and me were dating, we just moved in together, and the third one was coming out, which was like the end of the trilogy, so it was like a big thing. So I had the game pre-ordered. I had like the whole weekend booked off work so I could just play. And I kind of told her like, I'm really looking forward to this game. I'm just gonna, immerse myself in it. And I think I played it till like 3 a.m. until she's like, you need to come to sleep. And I went to bed and I woke up like on my own like an hour later, no alarm or anything. And I'm like, okay, time to play again. And I finished the whole game in like 2 days in like a 48-hour period. And I don't even remember eating or anything.
Didn't you say that was the first time she really saw you like in your element playing through a game like that?
Yeah, I think it was. Because it was all just, like casual fun, like play co-op things together before that. And yeah, I think she knew there was something wrong with me at that point.
I think you guys are weird. I don't think I ever do anything quite like. I mean, I'll play games for long periods of time, but like to actually like schedule something aside.
Oh, you've never done that?
I don't think so. No,
that's just one of many examples for me.
I just kind of fit it in when I can fit it in. You know what I mean? Pick it up when I can pick it up, and
right.
That's kind of it.
No,
yeah, that's how it was for a while, and until I started to realize that, like, and this is where it maybe ties into collecting a little bit. Like, I love my collection. I love the act of collecting. I love going out and getting the stuff. I love like meeting people and finding people to trade with, meeting the store owners. I love all that stuff. I also love just standing in front of I can stand in front of the collection and just look at it for a while. And then it was cool the other day. We were standing in front of it, and my wife was standing there with me, and I said, "Listen, I know you don't care. Like, I know you don't. Can I talk to you about a couple of these things for just a few minutes?" And she said, "Okay, go ahead." And I just started talking to her about like random things that I would like notice about it. And to her credit, she was very nice. She nodded, she smiled, she was paying attention. And I love everything about that. At the same time, when I look, as the collection gets bigger and bigger and you start looking at it, I think everyone kind of starts, at some point or another, looks at it and says, you know what? I'm spending more time collecting than I am playing, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. There's nothing wrong with collecting. It's just, you kind of start getting that itch after a while. You start realizing, hey, I haven't really played a lot of this stuff. So that's why I started kind of trying to set aside time for actual playing, because a lot of people, like I would go to talk to Chris at Retro Games, and he would say, so what are you playing these days? And it's really bad when someone's like, so what are you playing these days? And you're kind of like, I don't know.
Got over 1,000 games, but I haven't really touched anything in 2 weeks. Yeah.
Exactly. It's kind of like the PC crowd that like puts like all this money into like their hardware, and they're like, oh, it's doing 3D Mark at 80 frames per second, and you're like, oh, it's cool. What are you playing? Oh, I'm not playing anything. I just benchmark it all day and night. I just benchmark that thing. So yeah, it kind of comes back to, I would like to play this collection I have. So the only way that's going to happen is by scheduling it out, because if I don't schedule it out, like if I just wake up, the first thing I'm doing is checking Craigslist or checking the RF Gen sales forum or Nintendo Age or Sega Age to see what's out there.
Yeah, like you mentioned, it seems pointless sometimes to like go, you got 15, 20 minutes, why bother sticking something in? Those are the times that I love to go and like soak in my collection, like you said. Instead of playing a game, I'll just go and admire it, go flip through the carts, or rearrange something really quick, or just spend time with the collection rather than actually stick a game in and play for those 20 minutes.
Do you talk to it?
Oh yeah, all the time. I heard they grow bigger, they grow faster and healthier if you say nice things, play the classical music.
They probably do.
Nurture it.
Say supportive, nurturing things, and your collection will grow.
I think this is the part in the show where I start to wonder and question myself and what I'm doing, because I don't know what are you guys talking about.
So you never just stand in front of your collection,
soak it
in, and just take a breath and say, yeah.
No, because then if I sit there, I would have to start organizing some of it.
See, I like that though. You get to interact with it. It's fun.
So is it not? So are you saying it's not organized to the way you'd like it to be organized right now?
Well, I tell you, like, I'm not like you guys, man. I don't have a room. You know what I mean? So everything has to be in pieces and places. So yeah, I mean, what happens is like, oh, okay, well, I can go shuffle around and organize some of the stuff that's in storage. Yay! It's kind of depressing, right? So I just go.
You got to just slap an addition onto your house so you can have a game room.
But sure, okay, so even going that way, so even though like my stuff's all together, like let me imagine that I had, okay, in one room I have like all the Nintendo black box games, and then like on another shelf I have like all the 32X games. Like I still feel like I could look at a piece of that collection and still have like my own time with it, enjoying it. Is that really not something you never look at your collection just to appreciate the fact that you have it?
I guess every once in a while I'll open the NES cabinet up and just kind of like, wow, that's a lot of stuff. I don't know though, but like I said, right now I would go, okay, if I had to go in there and stare at it for a while, I would go, okay, it's not really organized, it's not alphabetized or anything, and I would start thinking, okay, maybe I should do that, and then and then I'm like, forget it, I'll just go play Mass Effect 3 multiplayer.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, I mean, to be fair, I mean, if to put myself in your shoes, if my collection were not organized the way it is now, you're absolutely right. Like, I would look at it and I would think, I need to do something about this. So, I think I understand where you're coming from.
Yeah, and when you really can't, it's just more frustrating, I think, sometimes than anything else.
Yeah. So, how's the edition coming along?
Yeah, I'll get right on top of that.
Well, with Hearthfire, I'm pretty sure you just need some iron and some logs.
Can you build NES shelves in Skyrim?
Well, there's Steam Workshop. I'm sure there's a mod for it.
That would get me more interested.
Get on the PC.
Count me out.
So your modern gaming time, you said, is basically your ritual is just to find that time, fit that time into your day. So I'm the only one that still like has like a gaming ritual, like things I really enjoy doing that like make the experience better for me.
What do you mean?
Give me an example.
Like you mentioned when you were younger, you loved to have that like theater experience, like just blackout. Uh-huh. That's specifically why I painted my game room black. I want it to be just like darkness, and all you see is that like flicker off the TV. I really enjoy that. And our whole basement, there's only one window in the entire basement. That's in the laundry room. So all I do is close the laundry room door, and our whole basement's like a theater room.
So do you play all of your games, both current generation and older, in complete darkness?
Yes, and I play in 3 different places, and I'm lucky enough to have that in all 3 because I got my game room, which is windowless and painted black. I've got my basement, which is it's dark paint and no windows, so it's very dark. And then I play at work, which I work graveyard shifts, so I flick out the lights and there's no light coming in the windows because it's the middle of the night and I'm kind of out of the city. So it's just blackness there too. So that's something I've really grown accustomed to, and I feel weird playing with the lights on.
I've got a curveball for you.
Okay.
When you, and I think you said that when your son has friends over, you'll all jump on the Turtles arcade machine.
Yep.
So when you and the gang all play Turtles arcade, do you get everyone in position and then kill all the lights?
Oh yeah, the good thing about my game room is there's 2 light switches. There's one right when you come in, and there's one over in the closet where all the games are. So if you just leave the closet one on until everyone's like set up, I get the kids their stools and whatever they need to reach the controls. Then as soon as you like hit that quarter in the machine, I can flick the light off right next to the machine. It's awesome.
Oh. Yeah, I wouldn't think that you'd play an arcade machine in total darkness, but
that's the only way to play an arcade machine. Those places were dark and grungy and weird. You got to have it like that.
Yeah, they were dark, but when you're in it, even if there's a room with no lights that has like 30 or 40 arcade machines and pinball
lights
machines
it up
in
a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah, there's some ambient light going on, but that's interesting that you play in dark.
Yeah, for everything. Yeah, I never thought about that. The arcade's no different. Love it in the blackness.
Yeah, I'm just gonna play whenever I can play. Usually I trade when I would normally be watching TV, and so everybody's around and everybody's going. I just whenever I can cram in, I just have to deal with it however it is. You know what I mean?
So does the type of game or even the like generation of the game change how you guys go about your playing?
Absolutely.
Can you give an example?
I mean, for one thing, I know Duke's excited about the prospects of the HDMI NES, and I think it's very interesting. I'm very happy that someone out there is working on that piece of hardware. But at the same time, I think me and Krabby are in agreement on this. I really prefer playing my NES, Super, Genesis games on a CRT set.
Yeah, I can play on a CRT with HDMI.
No. A 480i CRT.
My CRT can do 480i.
4x3.
It can do 4x3.
No. I mean the physical size of the screen of the aspect ratio of the screen.
4x3 mode.
No. That's emulation.
Come on, man. It's a CRT.
Duke's using a TV emulator.
It's off the podcast.
I just have the best TV you can get. That's that
XBR 34.
I don't know. I guess you could do RGB with like a studio monitor.
So for me, my retro, if you whatever you want to call it, retro gaming, classic gaming, I prefer on a CRT. So we don't have a CRT screen yet. The room that I was planning the CRT to be in, it ended up not having enough room for the piece of furniture that holds on my consoles, plus another piece of furniture for the 27-inch tube that I want to put in there. So it's kind of limited my my classic gaming until I can figure out an alternative plan for that. But yeah, my current gen. So obviously I play PC games. I play 360 and PS3 and Wii games. So everything except the PC obviously is in the main kind of TV room. It's very difficult for me to play in the morning or during the daytime because of the lighting situation in that room. Even though we have there's windows and we have blinds and everything, it's just there's a lot of natural light. It gets really bright in there, and we have a plasma set, which I love, but it does give more reflection off there. So it kind of limits my current gen or like any gaming on that set to the evening when it's so dark that there's no reflections that really kind of come into play. But I also have a really, 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 really nice sound system that I could only afford because I was working at Best Buy at the time, and I got a insane deal on it. But one of the things that I've grown to love about lots of current gen games is not just the surround sound, but just the quality of the sound in certain games. So one of the things that I really, really look for is something that's really can push the sound system and give us a really cool experience.
Now, I had a friend growing up, and his father was the only surgeon in town, and so they were one of the wealthiest families, and they had a really good sound system. I'd never really experienced one before. And we play a lot of like Super Nintendo, things that wouldn't really take advantage of it.
Mhm.
And then someone brought their GameCube over and brought Resident Evil 0, and we were playing it there at the middle of the night in the dark, and you could hear the slugs like crawling behind you. It was so awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah, and it's amazing what they could do with just what do they call it, Dolby Pro Logic.
Mhm.
So it's just a stereo sound, but they have the processor in Pro Logic gives you a surround. It like takes that and it throws it to the rear speakers in a believable way as well. But and we're not just talking like Matrixy type sound effects where like when something goes behind you, it's like, oh wow, the sound's behind you now. it's there's so many games that are like Mass Effect 3.
You can hear like a crowd like moving past you.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's cool.
There's
Oh,
crazy
yeah.
things. There's crazy things that can happen, especially when like we have Rock Band nights over here where I've got two of the stage kits that we modded them so that we could use two of those light modules with the one fog machine.
Nice.
So we soldered those together, and it's just like a Cat5 cable that connects them. And so you get the fog machine going a little bit, enough so that like the beams of light can kind of be seen, and we just crank that thing. And there's not a whole lot of cooler things in my basement than like a full-on like rock show, and it just sounds so great. So I think sound is one of the things I look for in some current gen games, because we're lucky enough that we live in a place that we can be pretty much as loud as we want, because we don't really have any neighbors that are really close to us.
Mhm.
And the ones that are close enough, like they don't mind like a little little loud music once in a while, even if it's super late, which we're also really lucky with. But yeah, most of my current gen gaming has to be at night, so we're lucky that we have that situation.
So generations you mentioned now. What about different genres? Does that affect your gaming habits?
Not too terribly. I mean, it's the other thing is just to be able to afford being, kind of like a current gen gamer and a collector at the same time, which both of those can get pretty pricey.
Oh yeah.
Especially when you're going after like boxed games, like I prefer to do. I almost never buy a game right when it comes out. There's a couple exceptions like Skyrim and like a couple games that I was really super looking forward to, but and I know like there's a lot of people who are you gotta like support them, like go out there, spend your money. But honestly, I mean, I can't do it. I can't spend that $50-$60 on a game when I know I can get it for like $15 or $20 in like a few months. So I just almost never buy anything current gen, on release day, and that's able to, I put that extra money into my collecting, and then when I have that $15-$20 from that game comes out like 3 or 4 months later, then I'll grab it then.
Yeah, I'm the same way. There's a few publishers or developers that I like to support, but for the most part, my brand new like day one purchases are very rare. So am I the only weird one then that has to have my gaming blankie when I'm playing role playing games?
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, you did just make me think of something. Yes, you are. Number one. Number two, I did have this weird thing for a long time that I don't do anymore, and I don't know why. So don't ask me why, and don't laugh, and don't make fun of anybody. But I used to smell every strategy guide I ever like owned or bought, or like I don't know how it happened, but when I was playing Final Fantasy VII, my first PlayStation 1 game, when we got our PlayStation 1 for Christmas, I got Final Fantasy VII, NHL 98, and Star Wars Masters of Terrascasi. So that was my 3 PlayStation 1. Yeah, I know. You make that sound every time I mention the Star Wars game. Oh, such a great game. So I'm playing Final Fantasy VII, and I don't know why, but like I have the strategy guide open, and I just put my and not just a little sniff. We're talking like my face is in that guide. And it just, I remember thinking like, wow, that's it's a really unique smell. Like it wasn't like good or bad. It was just, I'd never smelled that before. And I remember smelling every other strategy guide that I would get just to see if it smelled the same. And it didn't.
Nothing compares.
And then years later, I grabbed another Final Fantasy VII strategy guide and I smelled it and it smelled the same. And I was like, yes, it's just this guide. So That's
I've
no
never
banking.
Never sniffed a strategy guide, but when I bought my Neo Geo from Marriott guy, all of the games he sent me were still sealed, sticker sealed.
Wow.
So when I open them up, they have this incredibly unique smell like that. And I love opening them. They still have that smell, all of them. So
That's
I'm like
awesome.
resorting my games. I gotta make sure no one's looking. Oh, crack it open, take a little sniff, stick it back on the shelf.
Once Shadow hears this, he's probably going to update my position on the forums to Strat Guide Sniffer.
The strategy sniffer. So have you ever bought strategy guide from a pawn shop or garage sale or something, cracked it open and just been horrified with the smell that came off it?
No, I never have.
No.
I've been lucky enough that most guides that I was sniffing were decent. Nothing that I didn't want to smell in there.
You haven't found that one where someone's forgotten a piece of pizza between the pages or something?
No, not yet. But honestly, I stopped sniffing guides a long time ago. I've been clean. I've been clean for years. It was one of those things that I did for a while. I don't really know how it started, and then I think once I found that the Final Fantasy VII guide was the only one that smelled that way, I stopped.
Duke, I know you gotta have something to throw into this here.
I'm sure everybody that listens to this is going to go, man, this is probably the quietest I've ever heard this guy. But,
It's horrifying.
I guess...
Well, because he's actually playing Mass Effect 3 multiplayer in the
He's
background.
actually
He doesn't know what's
rapidly
going on.
sniffing all the strategy guides, seeing if he knows what we're talking about.
I will say, along that line, there is that new electronics smell you get when you take a new piece of electronics out of the package.
Mm-hmm.
I do really like that smell, and I do take time to really smell new electronic equipment. But
Thanks for trying to relate.
yeah,
Appreciate
I don't
it.
know. I guess that's sorry.
We're totally sniff bros now.
What I'm learning
Totally.
from this whole show, maybe the people at home can back me up, is that I podcast with two really weird people. I think maybe you guys can chime in. Maybe it's just me. Maybe it's just me.
I have a feeling that some of the people on RF Gen
Closet sniffers.
are number one, closet sniffers. Number two, I'm sure there's quirks that are not anything that we've ever had that probably go on at some other people's houses. I think the gaming ritual, as far as when you get that brand new game that you've been waiting for a long time, I feel like a lot of people kind of have that day or that weekend or that that session planned out. Whether it's food, whether it's an RPG blanket, whether it's it might be just your favorite chair. It might just be you know what, I bought I bought the game while I was on vacation. I couldn't even play it because I needed to be in my gaming chair. I just don't know. I just I'm sure that there's people who kind of have that gaming session is very special to them, and I feel for a lot of people, they want it to be private.
Now, see, I don't usually get a lot of that luxury of privacy, so it does affect the kind of games that I play. If other people are around, there's just certain games I will not bother to try to play. I'm not going to play something that's dialogue heavy because I'm going to get interrupted and I'm going to miss half of what's going on.
Oh, that's interesting.
So I just don't bother.
So you would not play The Walking Dead with people around?
No. I have to wait till everybody's asleep.
And that was so you played that when you were homesick and no one was around, right?
Yes, right. I was sick that day and everybody was gone, so I could just plow through it in a day. So yeah, I have to. As far as measuring out my time, I have to really take advantage of the quiet time because I don't get much. Mm-hmm. So I have certain kind of games that I have to play during that. It's not that by choice. I'd rather be sleeping and doing it other times, but it's the only thing I can do. It's just if I want to play that kind of thing, that's what I've got to do.
That's interesting. Crab, you have anything with working and gaming at home where just being on the podcast, sometimes each of us will get interrupted with family members or other things going on, mm-hmm. But how does that affect your gaming, if at all?
Yeah, absolutely. If it's to go back to the gaming blankie kind of, with role-playing games, for some reason they're particularly special to me. Not necessarily better or more enjoyable or anything, but I really feel like I have to prepare myself to enjoy the experience. So if I think I'm going to get interrupted, I won't even start it, just like Duke said with dialogue-heavy games there. I've got to have that blank. I got to be as comfortable as I possibly can be. I've got to be in pajama pants or sweatpants or something, and just plant myself on that couch and know I'm going to have at least a couple hours to really dive into this world. And when I'm at work, I don't typically play those kind of games because there's a really high possibility that I'll be interrupted, which is why I love to play Nintendo games there, because, you know, if you have to pause Mega Man, you come back, you know exactly where you left off. You know, you're not missing anything.
Right.
That's cool. I mean, and I've said it before, but I'll say it again. I love my wife. She's awesome. I wouldn't change anything. But there are times when and she's also very good. Like she works from home. She has the jewelry shop that I think I mentioned before. So she works from home. It's all like online, and like her kind of like production area, like office assembly area, is in the next room next to the TV room. So she'll be working in there, and every once in a while, like if I'm like home playing a game or something, she'll just kind of wander in, like, "Hey, what's going on?" And I'm like, "Oh, nothing. I'm just sit down for a bit. She can hang with me or whatever." And she's just one of these people who kind of has to comment on almost everything that's going on. So like, even if it's to herself, like she won't even be asking me but she'll just say to herself, "What is that? What's that guy doing? Oh, I don't like the look of that bus." And it's just kind of like, I'll look at her and I'm like, "Okay, I love you, but like, just please, just," and she's, "Okay, I'm sorry." But then it'll happen again, and then I'll jokingly say, "You know what? I like sometimes she'll just come in the room and I'll pause the game and I'll hang out with her as long as she wants to hang out." She's like, "Why'd you pause your game?" And I'm like, "You know why I paused the game." I was like, because I really, really want to enjoy this next part, and I just can't. I just can't with you. I said, "I'm sorry, I love you, but I can't do it with the conversation over the game." And she understands, but yeah, anything that I need to pay attention to, I can't play with anybody else in the room now.
Yeah, I think my wife's realized that too with certain games, because she does the same thing. She likes to ask me what's going on, why is that happening, you know. It's like when someone walks in halfway through a movie, you know, and they want you to catch them up.
Yeah, and it's like, okay, I don't mind pausing it and catching you up.
Yeah.
I don't even mind rewinding it. and we can watch it together. But what I won't do is talk over. Yeah, but I wish I had a better example of like what exactly happened. But even like if I'm like on the PC, like playing like Borderlands 2 is one of the examples that she can talk over all she wants. It doesn't matter, because all it is crazy action, shoot everything that comes out, grab some loot, and rinse and repeat. But if it's something like Skyrim, or you know, like something that like has like a story element that I cannot repeat and I need to pay attention to, like it's like, okay, no, I can't. I just gotta say I love you, but we will hang out, and then you will leave, and then I will continue playing.
Yeah, that goes into like what I was saying, how like with the role playing games, they're particularly special in that I don't want to be interrupted that way either. So I've not only do I have to have all the like comfort elements in place, I've got to have that time that I'm not going to have anyone else around. Which, since I work graveyards, I often wake up at like 3 or 4 a.m., like well before my family. So I get that time at least a couple days a week on my days off, where I'm up way before everyone else. There's a really unlikely chance anyone will be up, so I can really dive into it.
Nice.
Now you mentioned...
So Duke,
I could just tell you, Bill, that you've got a lot to look forward to with children.
I know. I'm excited.
Last time...
Just get ready for that. What are you doing?
Yeah.
What's that? What's that? What are you doing there? Don't push that. Push this.
So yeah, I'm gonna have to grab get more co-op games.
Oh yeah, they make you proud though too. Like the other day, I was talking to Duke and my son. Sometimes when we're doing the podcast here or just chatting, I'll set him up with a game and ask him what he wanted to play, expecting, you know, like Skylanders, Little Big Planet or something like that. He's like, "I want to play Wrecking Crew. I saw you playing Wrecking Crew the other day." So that was awesome.
He probably saw your YouTube video.
He did, actually, because I was, it's done in a few parts, and I was rendering all the videos together, and I stuck it on the laptop on the kitchen table and went to bed, and he came out for breakfast, so he's eating his cereal, watching the, like, sped-up rendering version of Wrecking Ball. He's like, "I need to play this that night."
That's cool.
And then he played it, and went, oh.
Yeah, he beat a few phases, and then he accidentally put himself in the design mode instead of entering a level. And I think he just got bored and confused because he didn't know what the heck design mode was.
Yeah, no, I mean, I know I've mentioned, not having a whole lot of free time, and I don't even have kids yet, so we're in the planning phases now.
Yeah, just wait. Your choice is lose sleep, pretty much.
Yeah.
That's when you can cram it in.
Yeah, and I know it's you can't compare it to kids, but that was Sarah's choice when because she was working like a day job, like an office job, and doing the shop pretty much full. Like once she got to the point where she was pretty much doing both full time. If like someone needed like a rush order, or if someone needed like some more I need this to go out like tomorrow, the choice was either lose that sale or lose sleep and do it. Yep. So that was that's kind of what we're preparing for, is because there's there's only so many hours in the day.
Yeah. So I mean, at least for me, it's sleep is the loser.
Mm-hmm.
You just learn to function the best you can on like 4 or 5 hours some nights.
Yeah, you ever get that twitchy eye?
I don't get that. I just get the
I get
droopy eye, like I'm just gonna fall asleep in my chair. But
I get twitchy eye when I either have too much caffeine, or if I'm like too like stressed or like way too tired. Like one of my like eyelids will twitch, and that's what I'm looking forward to the least about zero sleep with kids.
That's interesting. No.
I don't want to brag or nothing, but my son started sleeping through the night at like 3 weeks old, and we've never had a problem.
That's why Krabby doesn't want any more kids.
Yeah.
He won the lottery.
Really did.
Yeah, he's not going to get that lucky the second time.
I'm afraid not.
It would be like the complaint. Like all night long. Like, Dad, freaking trying to play NES. Shut up.
Bill, you've mentioned your like rock band groups. So what changes in your rituals, your gaming habits when you've got groups of people like that versus when you want to play something by yourself, like Mass Effect or Skyrim? Yeah,
a group. Again, it's weird. I didn't even think about it before, but it really comes down to time for me, because it is so limited. So when we have we usually have like 2 or 3 people over, so that way. We've tried to have like 10 or 15 people over before, and it's still fun and cool and everything, but it's like 10 people don't want to wait around to play Rock Band,
Is it my turn?
Like we typically so we typically just have 4 or 5 people, and like one person can swap out like when they get tired or if they want to go get a drink or something. So that typically works out better. So first of all, it's just like a streamlined 4 or 5 person group for like a Rock Band night. And the first few nights when we started doing this, we started noticing, first of all, how, when you get 5 people, even though you're friends, you get different musical tastes. So you end up spending half the night in the menus.
Yeah.
So now we have, you're going to laugh. So now we have a shared Google document where and it's shared between all of us. And each of us will put in like a song that they want to play.
So you like build your set list in advance?
So I will build the set list.
That's awesome.
No way.
Before we play. That way when people show up, we know that, okay, like, and we've done it a few different ways. This is the Bill set list. This is the Sarah set list. Here's the Kaylee set list. And we kind of have like a 5 or 6 song kind of like mini, like a kind of concert like per person. And then when that's done, then we can kind of go through like the onesies, and it's like, oh, well, I want to play this and I want to play this. So, but yeah, I have like the set lists are pretty much set up. That way, you end up playing 30 songs in a night instead of like, 8 or 9. So, but the same thing, it comes down to time, because like, people come over, they're going to be over for a little while, and then they have to work the next morning. So they got to leave by like, midnight or 1 in the morning. So, but yeah, it's, I try to get it as, kind of streamlined as possible. Plus we always end up losing like an hour and a half to dinner time. Because they come over, then you order the pizza or like whatever you're going to eat, and then it's like, wow, it's like 7 o'clock. We're going to play this thing or what? So, but yeah, I try to get everything set as streamlined as possible.
That's awesome. And do you think everyone enjoys that? Like having it all kind of scheduled out for them? I
tried to, I wanted everyone to be cool with that. So like, I'll text or G-chat, like all my friends, the friends who come over. I'll say, listen, I was kind of thinking about doing this. What do you think? And they'll both hit me back with like, awesome, let's do this. And, yeah, as long as everyone's into it, like it's, I found that like sometimes if I'll say something like, hey, like, what do you guys think of this? And my friends will be like, oh, well, that's kind of cool, but like, it might be too much work or something like that. So whatever people are cool with, I just like to have everything organized as best I can.
See, the only person, we've got one guy that we kind of do Rock Band night with, so there's like 3 of us, my wife, this guy, and me. And the way we choose our songs is my wife will pick like something she actually recognizes because she won't know most of the set lists. And then he's a really good drummer, and I'm not a good guitarist, but I'm a good plastic guitarist. So he picks the songs that he wants to see if I can even pass. He wants to try and make me fail, and I do the same to him. So I just pick the songs with the really tough drumming for him, and he picks the songs with the really long solos for me.
Okay. That's I had a different friend who doesn't come to these regular Rock Band parties, but he's I wouldn't call myself an expert, but like I mean I wouldn't call him an expert either. Like he's probably like a like average, like medium, but like he likes to play like on the edge of, he likes to play what he think he just can barely fail. And like just like, okay, if I might need to be saved like once, and I'm like, okay, that's totally cool. So but we would play through like 15 song set lists, and like our goal would be like to not fail out of this whole thing. So there's some songs that are tough for him, some that like are not tough for me, but since he really can't fail 4 times, like I really gotta kind of like keep an eye out for him. But I think that goes to I think the gaming ritual totally depends on obviously the game, but also the group you're playing with. I mean, we've only talked about Rock Band here, but I mean, before the days of like Xbox Live and PlayStation Network, like people would get together like and hook their systems together to play on 3 or 4 TVs, and that was a whole. You guys ever do that with? I know. Krabby, you're not really a Halo fan, but do you ever do that with any multiplayer games?
I never system linked, but we had tons of like 4-player N64 Dreamcast sessions.
Oh, okay. So like Mario Kart and stuff like that?
Yeah, Mario Kart, GoldenEye, Smash Brothers.
Yeah, see, when I was growing up, it's, you had 2 NES controllers and you sit on the couch. That was multiplayer.
You didn't have a 4-score, man? Come on.
Hell, the 4-score games suck.
No, they don't. Nightmare on Elm Street's awesome.
I kid, but I mean, seriously, that was what it was. You'd have 2 controllers and you'd swap them out. Everybody would just take their turn, right?
You see, that's some picture went up on Facebook a few days ago. It says how I remember Mario Brothers, and it showed a picture of Mario, and it says how my little brother remembers it, and it showed a picture of Luigi.
No.
See, we never, even like games that had 2 players like that, we never played the 2-player modes. We called it like life or level. You like played until you beat the level or lost a life, then you gave the other guy Mario. No one wanted to be Luigi.
That's kind of cool, because that way, like, if like what always used to happen is like one guy would be Mario and you'd be like 8 levels ahead, and Luigi would just keep dying on that first level because he never played it before.
That's why we didn't like it, because we like to be at the same area all the time. So every single game, like other than maybe like something like Contra where you get to move together, we'd always just swap the controller.
That's cool. I never thought to do that.
So do you have any pet peeves that just prevent you from playing, or just something that just drives you bananas that just ruins the whole session for you?
I think we mentioned, as much as we love them, family members.
Yeah.
And it just, they need you. You're their crutch. You're their lifeline. But yeah, I mean, like if like unexpected family member intrusion or people talking over the game, like the obvious ones. But as far as like like real pet peeves, like things that like prevent me from enjoying the game, I mean, nothing that I can think of besides the standard, like this, like the stuff of like stuff outside the actual game, like aside from things about the game that I actually don't like. So we're talking about like environment or like intrusions or stuff like that. Nothing besides the standard, interrupting, right. The phone call.
Right. Well,
or
something you said very early on made me cringe, because it's one of my biggest gaming pet peeves. It was your Final Fantasy VIII story.
Mm-hmm.
Food and games do not mix for me. I never, ever eat
really?
or drink when there's a game controller around me. Ever.
Really?
Yeah.
What? Like not even water?
Nothing. No, it's like, you stop the
How do
game.
you survive?
You go and eat or drink. You like take your half an hour, whatever you need, and then you come back and play. You do not
I
combine
wouldn't
with
be able to play half the time if I didn't eat and play at the same time.
So a pet peeve of yours is the act of eating
while playing games.
Okay, I've never heard this before.
It drives me nuts, and I don't like other people doing it around me either.
What?
Okay, to the point where you will ask them to please stop eating?
If we're in my home, yes. When we're at other people's houses, I'll let them do whatever. Yeah, like
So all right, so if someone's over and someone says, "Hey, do you have anything to eat?" You'll say, "Yeah, absolutely.
Let's go.
Let's pause this.
Yeah.
We'll go eat something and then we'll come back."
Yeah.
I mean, that's really
I totally get that for like pizza, like because no one's touching any greasy food and touching anything I own. And I totally get it, but but you're saying to the point of like pretzels and like a bottle of water while you're playing games is against the rules in your house.
Yeah. And my wife, she knows it. She knows about it. She knows it's weird, and she's had some friends over, and they come down to check out the games and play something or whatever. And she's kind of paranoid because I've made such a big deal out of it too. So then her friend will bring like a drink of water down in a cup, and she's like, "Oh, you can't bring that in here."
Oh wow, yeah. That's so good. So I mean, now that I think about it, it's probably not a terrible thing because like I guess there's some people who can like sit in one place for like 5, 10, 15 hours, and it probably is good for you to get up and move around. But yeah, I can't say I've ever come across this the food while gaming pet peeve.
I literally cannot remember a time like prior to being 10 years old where I've had food and a controller around me at the same time.
Did your parents like beat you or something for spilling something on some at some point in time?
No, but now that you mention it, my brother once spilled orange soda on my NES and like fried it.
Okay, there we go.
Maybe it's in there.
What I'm learning from this whole thing, I mean, maybe the listeners who are on my side, I feel like I'm almost like some psychotherapist, and like I'm just listening to this stuff and like jotting down notes, like.
Yep. I
think this must be like some catharsis for Krabby just to get this off his chest.
I feel great.
Yeah, because I'm just kind of sitting back going, now I'm feeling pretty good about myself. I guess I'm pretty normal.
No.
So side question: is it just games? Like, let's say you're in the exact same room with the exact same people, and all of a sudden you're going to put on a movie.
Oh, I'll chow down during a movie all the time. Yeah.
And now it's popcorn time. Okay.
Again, we're going back to like some childhood tragedy in Krabby's past, which has caused this
the orange
crises
Nintendo,
in his life.
I bet you. Do you remember what game was in the Nintendo when it fried?
I don't think there was a game in it. We usually took them out. We didn't really leave them in there.
I think this is like Psychotherapy 101. So like, some student somewhere that's studying is like, oh, I totally could have diagnosed that.
So, what I'd be curious to try though is to have people come over with their own controllers at my house and see if it still bugged me then.
Would you just make them stay like a mandatory 6 feet away from the console?
I don't know.
Yeah, because I mean, I totally, like I said before, I totally understand no one is eating and touching, not just my video game controllers, but anything. Like no one's eating and then touching anything I own, whether it's like a book, graphic novel, like my hockey, like figures, like whatever it is. But for like, and myself too, like I'm not gonna grab like some nachos and go downstairs and have like a chip in one hand and a control in the other. It's all gonna be foaming hand soap for everybody, and then we can play. But I'm trying to get where you will not eat a pretzel while playing a game.
They're just not compatible items in my mind. They're things you do in different places. I don't.
You guys realize that you can clean controllers, right? I mean, you can do that. I don't get it.
It's not about that, because like I'll have a greasy piece of pizza and grab my TV remote.
Now don't get me wrong. We're talking about the extreme here, but I mean if I have a sandwich or something, why do I care?
No, yeah, that's okay. So now we got good and bad food. So anything greasy is really my problem. But a sandwich and a controller is totally fine, because bread's not
get those little crumblies in the analog stick.
Oh, come on,
man. It's fine. It's fine. Pretzels are fine.
I need to invent like this wicked bib that like juts out from me, and then maybe I'll be able to do it.
I mean, because let's be true. As collectors, compared to the number of consoles you own, how many controllers do you end up with for these things?
This actually started way before I started collecting, though. I remember like in like junior high, we'd have like, like Smash Brothers big parties. We'd have like 6 or 7 of us. They'd order a pizza in, and I would literally like, okay, someone else play so I can go and eat, finish eating, then I'll come back and play. It wasn't like, throw a slice over here and keep playing.
I think we should just title this this whole episode Krabby's Therapy Session. I think. I wondered why you wanted this topic so much. Now I understand. You needed to come to terms with some of this stuff. You needed resolution.
My extended family's kind of getting used to me now, because when the kids come over for our family night dinners, we do. I like go and supervise them washing their hands and like, okay, now we can go play Ninja Turtles.
Prozac, Krabby. Prozac. You ever hear this stuff?
One of my first posts on the thread ever, like before I did, I think it was actually one of my very first post. I said something like what's the like strangest or like what's the weirdest thing anyone's ever said when they first saw your collection?
Okay.
Do you remember? I don't know if you guys remember seeing this, but no. Like I remember my sister didn't know I collected for like a year, and then she came out. I mentioned it to her, and she came over. Oh, you want to see the games? And I showed it to her, and she said, "Dude." And they're all alphabetized, they're all organized, they're all in boxes, they're all very like neat. And she said, "Dude, you're like a classy hoarder." I said, "Well, I wasn't gonna get into it with her, but I was like, yeah, I'll give you that." So you mentioned something about like your family getting used to it.
Yeah.
So I mean, I guess we've already kind of touched on like how family affects your gaming ritual, because they're always around. But how does that dynamic of the family affect your collecting?
I think that is a whole show topic episode we should get into.
Yeah, right.
That's a big one.
That's going to be Krabby's Therapy Session Volume 2.
Yeah, Volume 2.
Watch for it on store shelves, people.
It'll be right next to Dr. Papa Crab's sleepy time medicine.
Othello.
Yeah.
Othello tonic.
Now with more Othello. I don't even know.
All right, is there anything else you need to get off your chest there, Krabby?
I'm thinking. I'm racking my brain. What are there? I didn't think I was as bizarre as I was. I thought there'd be a little more overlap between the two of you.
No, I feel really weird. I don't think I've probably said like 10 sentences this whole part. But I guess I'm just sitting back going, I'm not really OCD.
Stunned silence.
So, how does being a retro collector affect the purchases that you make for current gen, whether it be financially, or is it more of a financial commitment to buy a current gen game, or is it more of a time commitment?
I don't really understand your question, Bill. I mean, I'm not trying to dog on you. I don't.
No. So when you go out and you say, okay, you're looking for like an Xbox 360 or a PS3 or a Wii game, what are the limiting factors causing you to second guess this purchase?
I've got such a backlog that time doesn't register. If it's something I think I'll play at some time, I'll probably grab it. So I don't really factor that in, but yeah, I do definitely take in financials. Like you said, like, do I want to buy this at $60? When I'm almost positive I can get it for 20 a few months from now. Whether that's new or used, that definitely factors in. So I do think about the financials when I'm playing. I'm not thinking is this game going to hold its value? Can I sell it for $50 in 10 years or whatever? Because who cares about that length of time when you're talking about that amount of money. But I definitely like to feel like I got a deal. So it's rare to spend that much on a new game when I know it's going to depreciate, when I can buy an old game that I know it's more likely to hold its value.
Now that is a topic for another show, whether collecting is an investment or not. But
yeah, that specific piece. So Duke, when you're getting ready to make a purchase on a current gen game,
yeah,
what do you think about when you're trying to rationalize? Okay, like, is this a good purchase decision? Like, what goes through your mind?
It's all
specifically.
Price.
Oh, really?
It's all price. I'm not going to buy it unless I can get a good deal. Period. I'm just not.
Even if it's just like a genre or developer you just love.
Yeah.
You won't splurge and overpay in your mind?
No.
No.
Not on current gen stuff, because I know. I mean, it's just if I wait like a week, I can get money off of it. I mean, I don't really have to exercise much patience.
What if it's a game that you don't particularly care for, but it's a fantastic deal?
Yeah, I mean, I bought Duke Nukem Forever, so there you go. That's the answer right there. It's $5. So,
is there a game that you would not buy for $5 on this current gen?
Sports.
Anything Ninetale Demon Fox plays.
So barring sports games, so the and the Odd Barbie and Mary Kate game. So if it's a good deal, regardless of whether you think you will play it, in the near future or at all, if it's a good deal, you'll probably go after it.
I don't know. I mean, you have to think with this new stuff. It doesn't really draw me in all that much. Like for example, I've got a friend that's really into Far Cry 3 right now. You know what I mean? It's just like, oh my god, Far Cry 3, it's so awesome, and you gotta play this, it's the best game. And I just hear it all the time, and I just don't care. Let's be honest. Really? I'm like, I don't care. If I see it somewhere for like $10, $15 maybe, but there's no way I'm in any hurry whatsoever to pick it up. Don't care.
It's odd. I'm usually right there with you. Like even if it is like the new hotness, and if it's awesome, like I can be excited, but oh wow, that does sound awesome. That does look great. That does sound like exactly the kind of game that I would like. But then when it comes down to like, will I put $50 down for it? Nope.
Yeah, no, I mean, don't get me wrong. I love Dead Space 1 and 2, and the third one's right around the corner. But I'll wait. No problem with that. Will I like it? Yeah, no doubt. But I'm just not going to go out and spend a lot of money on it. Just to me, it's kind of silly, to be honest.
Yeah. Now, do you think that has to do with? Now, obviously, we want as much money to go towards our collecting as possible.
Yeah.
But do you think it's? I mean, and again, it's kind of like in your mind, so you might not know the exact answer. But do you think it's more to the fact that you just want to have more money to dump in collecting, or just from the fact that like you come from like a garage sailing type mentality where I'm not buying it if it's not a good deal?
Yeah, I think it's the latter.
It's actually the former for me, I think. I keep a lot of my receipts for games now, and I was looking through some of the games that I've owned for a very long time, and I actually held on to a few receipts, just tuck them in the manual. And I didn't used to care. Like I would spend like Spider-Man 2, for example, when that came out, looked really cool. I wanted to play it. I don't remember what I paid for it, but then I found my receipt and I paid $80 for that.
Oh man!
Brand new, $80. Yeah, I couldn't imagine doing that for a collector's edition.
What Spider-Man?
Spider-Man 2 for the GameCube.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like the first good 3D Spider-Man game.
Bad choice.
But no, I loved it. I got a lot of playtime out of it. I never felt ripped off about it, ever. I felt like I got a good deal because I played the crap out of that game.
Now, I will say, I will go against that a little bit when I know it's a title that's just not going to be available very, very long.
That's a very good point, yeah.
Because I know, like Last Story in Xenosaga, I had no problem plunking down the money because
who knows when you're going to find them, yeah.
Print runs, or like...
right.
That Metroid Prime trilogy you bought, didn't you?
What's that?
Yep.
The Metroid Prime trilogy, didn't you buy that one?
Hyperdimension Neptunia 1 and 2.
Yeah.
No problem. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's actually a really good point, because all those games you just listed, except for Hyper, whatever that is, we're on the exact same thing. Like, I wasn't planning on spending, $40-$50 on Last Story, but I love Sakaguchi. I love Mistwalker. I love Lost Odyssey. Like, I love so many of the things about that studio. I wanted to have that game, and I actually did end up waiting for a deal on it. So I'm both ways. Like, I got it sooner than I thought I would, but I also got a pretty good price on it. But same thing, Xenoblade Chronicles. It was limited run. It was GameStop only, and I bought it new for $50 because I didn't know if I was going to be able to find it in another few months.
Yeah.
And here's the thing you got to think about. I've been doing this a long time, and I've been around for the end of a lot of console life cycles, and it's always those last few titles that get low print runs are the ones you can never find and cost you an arm and a leg if you want to go back and find them later.
Sure. Metroid Prime Trilogy, I was working at Best Buy when that came out, and I remember I didn't buy it yet. I remember looking in the computer thinking like, oh, I wonder when we're getting more of these in. And it said discontinued.
Yeah.
I said, are you kidding me? this thing's been out for like a week or two, so I bought it that day.
Yeah, I regret missing that one because I remember, the Super Mario All-Stars package came out just a little before that. And it was supposed to be limited, but, they did a few print runs. I could still find it around here. So I held off on the Metro Prime Trilogy because I thought Nintendo would do the exact same thing. And I completely regret not buying that now because they obviously didn't.
Yeah, and I think that's things like you'll see, I mean, not to a great extent, but like the Kirby collection. It's just not going to get a lot of life or a lot of attention.
Right.
It's a good one to pick up when you can find a good deal on it. I think it'll, it's worth playing, A, and B, it won't be real common.
Now, if you get a good deal on something, like, a current gen game that sells for like between $40 and $60 for like $10 or $15, so if you buy that for $10 or $15 and a year, 2 years goes by and you don't play it, do you regret the purchase because you haven't played it, or you're still happy because no matter when you play it, you got a good deal?
Sometimes those just end up staying sealed, so, I usually do make out well enough on it. So, I mean, I'm not one of those people when I buy a game, I don't open it unless I'm literally going to be playing it. So some games just don't get opened.
I've only recently taken that stance.
I mean, it doesn't make any sense to me to just rip everything open the instant you get it. I mean, whether you're going to play it or not.
I used to rip everything open like in the car on the way home. But I did play that thing when I got home. But you're right. Now, like, there are games that I've purchased that go on the shelf sealed, and they don't get open until I play them.
Yeah, I mean, my Metroid Prime trilogy is sealed. And, honestly, it'll stay that way because I can go get the other real games in the series for next to nothing. You know what I mean?
Yes, you can.
So, yeah, I'll just sit on it. I got no problem with that. It's not going anywhere. I'm glad to have it. And it'll be one of those things that'll be trickier to find one of these days.
I can't think of a single example from $5 to $100 where I felt like I've overpaid for something or got a raw deal.
Well, I can guarantee I bought No More Heroes 2 new.
I'm not saying I haven't bought a game that hasn't depreciated, but I've got at least the enjoyment out of it. Like, it's been a series that I've liked, so I'll pay a little more for it. Like, I bought Catherine brand new in the big box, with the boxers and the weird pillowcase and pizza box and stuff.
Yeah.
And I opened it up, so I didn't keep it sealed, so it's lost a bit of value. But I love that game so much that the two kind of balance out my collecting and my gaming. So I don't feel like I overpaid for it.
I understand. Like I said, I bought No More Heroes 2 brand new, but I really wanted it, and I didn't think it was going to be real popular, so I had no idea how easy it would be to track down later. So I just said, forget it. You know what I mean? And I'm glad I did. I played the crap out of it.
See, I like taking those kind of risks where you've kind of got a backup, it might be cool if it's, worth money down the road, but at least it's a fun game if it's not, right?
Yeah. Now, I'm not going to go out and just throw like, oh, I'm going to buy this because I don't want to play it, but I think it might be worth something someday.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really play that game too much.
Yeah, I don't really either. There's a guy who was friends with my brother who was a manager at a GameStop, and he says there's this kid who works there who I don't know all of the kid's details. I'm pretty sure he lives at home, but he said, like, dude, this kid, like, I don't know, like, he doesn't have money coming in from anywhere else. He just works like as like a full-time like non-manager associate at GameStop. He buys 2 copies of almost every single game that comes out every single week. And it's just because, he doesn't have rent to pay or anything. And he plays 1 copy and the other one he keeps sealed because he's going to sell them in like 5 or 10 years or whatever. But not just like big games. Every single game that comes out.
He's going to lose a lot of money in the long run. Unless he's want to hold on for a very long time.
Yeah, he'll have to hold on for probably another 20 years.
Yeah.
I mean, think about it. If you had done that during the NES days.
There's still a huge chunk of the library that's not worth more than they originally sold for, even sealed.
I don't know. A lot of NES titles brand new were $30. I think if you had mint sealed games, you probably would have a few that probably wouldn't turn that much, but I would think you could probably at least break even.
You got to think you waited nearly 30 years now to get to that point.
Oh yeah, don't get me wrong. Again, whole nother topic. Investment. This is not an investment. You know what I mean?
Yeah, not for me.
That's a fool's errand.
Yeah.
Sometimes it works out in your favor, and you get lucky, and sometimes it doesn't. But you can't do it because of that. I don't think it's a good idea.
Yeah, I mean, I think everybody who looks at any one of our collections or any one of the collections of the people on the site, would probably look at it and say like, wow, like, you know, like, what do you think this is worth, or what do you think you could sell this for? And whenever someone asks me that, I say, honestly, I really don't look at it that way. I mean, I could give like a ballpark if like someone really wanted me to, but I don't look at it as, you know, this is going to be my car someday, or this is going to be a down payment on a house someday. And for a lot of people, it might very well end up being that. But I mean, the collection is absolutely not an investment for me.
I've got a poster right on my game room door that says Crabmaster's future yacht.
What's the name of the yacht?
The Crabmaster. Come on.
The
Papa Crab's Sleepy Time
stadium events.
Oh, that'd be great. Yeah, well, with your collection, yeah, that probably is a yacht to be made there.
I didn't mention it when we were talking about our small squares, but the cowboy kit that I got came from one of my neighbors. So I actually invited him in. He brought it over, and I tested it out before I bought it. And as soon as he saw my basement, you could just see the like dollar signs in his eyes. And he keeps sending me these emails. You know, I can help you put all those NES carts on on a physical cartridge for you, so you can still play them, and then you can sell all that stuff. I'll help you out.
You better watch that guy. I hope you have a home security system or something.
Yeah.
I got a buddy who's in home security. He's got me covered.
Yeah. Okay.
Nice. He's your neighbor too, right?
He's my neighbor. He's like 2 houses over.
I was gonna say, I hope your buddy's name is Smith and Wesson.
So I'd love to hear some comments on the thread to kind of reinforce that I'm not as bizarre as I came across this episode.
Or if you'd like to help psychoanalyze Krabby, like I've been doing.
Either post your own bizarre little rituals or habits, pet peeves, or throw a diagnosis down for me so I can get the right meds.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm just as weird as I think I am. So if anyone has any additional advice or anything like that, I'm eager to read it.
Well, thanks all you closet psychotherapists for sitting in on this episode of the Collectorcast and hearing all about the oddities of gaming, and I'm sure you can chip in on your own. Don't forget, you can always find us in a couple different places. So, Krabby, where can people find us?
Do we have a list? I don't know them all off the top of my head.
I knew I would.
I was going to say
ready.
Stitcher Smart Radio.
You are on Stitcher Smart Radio. You get 1 point.
Yes.
Where else are we?
We're around YouTube.
We are on YouTube.
You can go to collectorcast.com.
Collectorcast.com, you're right.
You can search us at Podomatic under Collectorcast.
You can find us on Podomatic. That's true.
Is that 4 points?
Yeah, you're doing pretty well.
Yeah,
I think you're missing a couple.
Yeah, I think I am too. What am I missing? Are we on Zune yet?
Nobody wants us on Zune. I've tried many times. Not happening.
Napster?
My father-in-law doesn't listen to the show because it's not on Zoom.
We are on Podcast Pickle, strangely enough.
I don't even know what that is.
I don't promote that. Now there is, no, Krabby, you don't have to check it. We're on Twitter.
We are on Twitter. I'm feeling extremely old with Twitter. I don't quite understand it.
We'll get you up to speed. Don't worry, Gramps.
I've got a feed on my phone now, the Twitter feed, and it's making me more confused than I was before I had the Twitter feed on my phone.
And then also the booking of the faces thing, right, Krabby?
Oh, yeah, we're on Facebook.
We are on Facebook. I don't know if Krabby ever looks at it on Facebook.
I actually just deleted my Facebook account like 3 days ago.
No.
Should I redo it? I never use it.
I can't look at what you look like anymore.
So you can talk to Bill and I on Twitter and on Facebook.
I'll be on the forums.
Krabby, if you tie some string and tin cans together, or maybe send him a singing telegram, you can talk to him.
Yeah, carrier pigeons don't make it very far up here.
Slap some stamps on a postcard.
More stamps than usual.
That sounded enthusiastic, man.
Sorry, I was yawning.
That's great. I can tell I'm going to edit the crap out of this podcast. All right, well, thanks a lot, everybody, for joining us for another action-packed episode. And, Bill.
Yeah.
This is when you chime in and say something.
We're also on Google.
Thanks for being here, Bill. I appreciate the
just
support.
go to google.com and type RF Generation or Collectorcast into the search box, and that will lead you to any one of the places that we just talked about.
Oh, I hope the listeners are feeling for me. Krabby!
Oh, yeah.
Thanks for being on the show, man.
Love doing it. Looking forward to that interview coming up here.
Yeah. Bring somebody on that's interesting. Let's get some exciting stuff to talk about.
Boring people, no need, donate. We only want you interesting weirdos.
We'll donate just under what the winning bid was.
And you can always, if you win, you could give your interview to somebody else. That's more interesting. We're kidding. Anyway, guys, take care. We'll see you next show.